the business. Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations. It's Duke Sims, the Don. We up in this mug today, waiting for the people to get in. Welcome to the Damu and Kiwe Conversations. Hit that like and share on your way in. We got the content. Hey, that's a fact. We are the content. Don't never forget that. We control the narrative. We control the way that things flow. And it seems CS2 back, the Big U case looking crazy right now. Allegedly, the FBI are trying to get his son to testify in that M case. Can anyone verify this? Damn, it's crazy out there. If we can verify that, then we might as well go ahead and be working with the federal government. See, a lot of these dudes have been talking about indictments for 2 years that just passed, right? Like 2 days ago. They get that type of inside information because they're working with the authorities. You don't see a nexus and a link between CS2 back and the boy long tail rat, and then you got the boy Marley Marl, the Grammy winning producer, right, who's also an informant, and then Loose Coochie Cannon. All of those dudes is tied together and working with CS2 back, who orchestrated and helped start this investigation against another man that looked like us. I remember my mama told me, you don't never want to put a brother that looked like you in the penitentiary. And that was my mama. She's just a hustler. She not a gang member or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if that's how I was raised, boy, stop title telling. Get popped in your mouth and beat up. Get your ass whooped. I've been flaming that nigga up all day. That Adam and Wack show today was very damaging. Too many lies. It will be picked apart, making it clear that Wack100 and CS2 back. Oh, we're going to get to that. You know what I'm saying? But before we get to that, we want to get into this content, man. Wack100 RICO indictment. Gun trafficking, extortion, and blackmail. So these are just a look at it. We're going to get into the gun trafficking. Beautiful black lady, salute. Hey, when y'all come in, hit that like button, man. Let's get to it. You know what I'm saying? But first, we're going to get into the first Wack100 indictment, right? And everybody been talking about is Wack100 going to get this indictment, right? We welcome the Kiwe pop star. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations. Hey, man, listen. Another hot live been, oh my gosh, another hot live, man. Where we at? We on YouTube? We on Clubhouse?
Yes, sir. Instagram, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are on Clubhouse. Salute to everybody on Clubhouse. If you in on the stage, make sure you share the room 3 times. So in the hallway, we can get that shine. And if you in the goose, salute to you too. Salute to the mods that's on their job, man. Salute to everybody on Clubhouse. And salute to everybody in the live, the chat. Y'all know that's where it's at, man. And salute to the Blue Wrench mob that's on their job. And if you a friend that tapped in because of a friend, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the content, man. Y'all sitting with the most authentic, hottest podcast of the West Coast and the culture. Deuce M's, the Don, and Yael, the Kiwe pop star. Damu Kiwe Conversations.
So as I was saying, we everybody talking about the Wack100 indictment. I mean, everybody sees the nexus that we seen. Everybody seen that Wack100 was given inside details on his experience with Big U, and even giving up motor operandi, the way that Big U do things. Salute to Stand on the Media, keep grinding, King. He just came up on Clubhouse. I definitely want to salute the King. He out there doing his thing. Salute to my boy, A Dose of Reality TV. You know what it is. You know you the bro. Shalom, ma. Salute to Scandalous Los Angeles TV. JB, Jungle Boy TV. Salute to the live. What up, though, dudes? Oh, man, we finna get into this content. I heard that CS2 back a little irritated at this point that everybody's still calling him CS2 back. You know what I'm saying? Deuce, did you look into Georgia? Yeah, it's on no jumper. We're going to get to that. But first, I wanted to get into this indictment because while everybody gloating and seeming like they happy to see one brother get indicted, right?
Right.
Look, everybody talking about the no jumper. You know what I'm saying?
So he must have said something about Damu Kiwe.
Oh, you know, he hates to say our name, right? But what he call us bozos? You know, he hates to say our name at this point because it hurts him to give credence that we started this gangster shit. And this the motherfucking thanks I get. Hello. We started CS2 back shit. He talking about it's a lie. He talking about Deuce Bond, what's up with it, homie?
So Deuce.
Yeah.
So if it's a lie, how come he hasn't filed defamation of character against the CS2 back then to prove that it's not a lie?
Well, good luck with that.
Oh man.
I mean, it ain't even a question whether or not he's CS2 back. And that's why it hung around and lingered so long till people caught on. Boss Talk, what up, bro? Salute to you. You know what I'm saying? And that really, he knows he got to wear that rat jacket for the rest of his life, bro. He watches our lives. Raider Q, what's up? He knows what's going on.
He over there like this, dude. I hate it. Hey, you know what, Lamont? Y'all.
Right. Now, if y'all don't remember Debbie, right? If y'all don't remember Debbie, I'm gonna reintroduce y'all to Debbie. And but before we do all that, I want to show y'all the indictment from CS2 back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Lady Fino, what up with it? You just came in, my bad. Y'all regulate that regulate the chat, you know what I'm saying? Don't leave people in the goo. Can you see that? Y'all still can't see. Let me show it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? This was the email that I got from Debbie McLaughlin. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it must be true. Awkward beginnings. I made Wack stop wearing a recording device of a necklace that Cash Money pinned his CS2 back. Dude, Sims the Don, y'all the Kiwe pop star. Y'all know. Hey, listen, when I'm hanging with the Kiwe pop star, I like to drink penitentiary black coffee, man. You know what I'm saying? And just run the content. These nuts, Wack100 and Adam show expose just how scared Wack is. He's trying to separate himself from anything illegal while being illegal and a snitch. Oh yeah, he definitely was scared about something. There's something. Thanks for subscribing. Easy, no problem. Awkward beginning. Bro, Wack said he know who the victim number one, and he told him he was working with the feds. And witness. Yeah, victim number one. Yeah, he been told us that. We covered that last night. You got to catch our last, Eli King say you still reaching. We still reaching? Hold on. Let me show him something. How is we reaching? He said we reaching. Let's go here to where it say indictment. You know what I'm saying? Since you say I'm reaching, where that dude go? Come here. Get over here. Eli King. You say that we're still reaching? Yeah, hell, I'm quite sure even with your blind ass, you can see what that say right there, right?
Oh yeah, let me put on my reacher glasses. Give me 1 second, do Sam. So I'm going to put on my reaching glasses. It says I'm fixing my bifocal lens, and it says name Cash McElroy Jones. That's Cash McElroy Jones. Date of birth is 4/17/1977, and the offense date is 4/16/2005. That states that This is the indictment of Cash McElroy Jones, unlawful possession of firearm. PC section 4604A1, degree third, and this is the complaint. Yeah, this is it right here, sir. Cash McElroy Jones, we did not make up this paperwork. This is you, guy.
They said he was panicking. Yeah, bro. Salute. You make fake paperwork. Damn, Eli King, and we got one of the haters in the chat. Well, right here, it has a stamp. You see this stamp? Let me show you how to read paperwork, because it sounds like you've been hanging with those guys that don't know how to decipher paperwork from a 115 and all of that, right? January 26, 12:52 p.m., Wheeler County, Texas. January 26, 2006.
Do you see the bond? The bond is $10,000.
$10,000, and it was 3 counts, third degree possession, which means that there were 3 pistols. So we're going to get into this, but as I was showing y'all, we had Debbie McLaughlin sent us this. Maybe you didn't hear when we talked to Debbie, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you didn't like the way she was rizzled, you know what I'm saying? She like a Mac, man. She was really feeling a Mac, man. But I was going through Jared Ingram's case. You remember Jared Ingram? Yeah.
Jared Ingram. Why that name sounds so familiar? Jared Ingram. Is somebody dealing with CS2 back?
Yeah, he was the one that he was the mountaineer that CS2 back.
Oh,
AJ.
Yeah. The Caucasian man. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So going through that, I go through the evidence, and we found a video that Wack obviously got taken down before we could go back and catch him up into his lies, right? So he beat that case. Y'all read.
Oh yeah, you see that? I was about to say, he said he beat that case. Y'all
well,
still
just hang around since you said he beat that case.
Don't run him off yet. We're gonna burrito you later.
We go fast forward because we don't
you heard me, dudes?
Yeah.
After you're done packing them out, you can go ahead and treat yourself like a burrito and roll yourself out.
All right, let's get into this.
Prove that I drove this motherfucking gun from here to there. You don't know who drove the motherfucking gun.
Definitely can't prove no transportation of the gun.
Yeah, I fought that. Unless.
All right, let's see. Start that back over.
Prove that I drove this motherfucking gun from here to there. You don't know who drove the motherfucking gun.
Definitely can't prove no transportation of the gun.
Yeah, I fought that. Unless he was actually in the car and he could whatever. But that's the side of a beast out of fault.
You had to fight it that way because
that's a lot of time, bro. They could charge that nigga with everything.
Got that shit
trafficking firearms, all kind of shit. That's just a gang of time on that traffic.
Yeah, I would have fought that. Beast, I had that. They tried to, my case.
Yeah, that illegal search and seizure.
Yeah, because you got to remember the rental car come from Cali. Right?
Yep.
I get pulled over and the search happened in Texas. Right? So immediately, that's why they had the Fed hold. They like, well, yeah, he crossed the state lines. But you can't prove none of that. How you know I didn't pick it up in Texas? Couldn't prove it. I had to fight that end of it too.
Do you know how much they got to pay for the lawyer to do 2 trials?
Who? I spent $378,000.
He don't got $378,000.
I'm just telling you what I spent. I fought that shit. Pull that shit up. I know niggas pull that shit up.
Don't have proper jurisdiction.
What fuck is that county?
Then.
Where Mickey at?
Capping.
What's the name of that damn county? I know she pulled my shit.
That'd be the worst, second worst.
Act like she my friend. Was gonna expose me. if she found something.
Wheeler County.
There you go. Cass Jones, Wheeler County. Them motherfuckers. Hey, bro, shout out to Texas for having audio and video on the front of their squad cars. Because if I'd have been in Cali Beach, I'd have been fucked.
Oh, yeah. And just so y'all know, we'll be revealing the video, the police camera video to Wack100 being arrested in Wheeler, Texas. Oh, this gonna be good. It's on its way.
Fuck, I'd have had to take it. Yeah, because they have to write the report based on the audio, the video and the audio.
Yeah.
Like if I'd have been California, it'd have been my word against theirs, but the ex-con word against theirs or how they got it. Them niggas could have said they saw something with the back seat. They could have said all kind of shit. But because they had audio and video, that's what saved me. How you get to it. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. They called the drug. I guess you can only be on the side of the road like 18 minutes or some shit before they violate your rights. They call the drug dogs out there. Motherfucker running around the car. This motherfucker running around the car wagging his tail, no hits.
Remember, he got on here and lied and said that the dog was running around the car and got no hits. Remember that key bit of information as he misleads the deaf, dumb, and blind on the bun hunted side, 100 EBT. Let's go.
First of all, the nigga pulled me over and told me I was speeding. And then he takes my license, registration, insurance. Ain't nobody on me and my brother's asleep. He don't even know he pulled over, right? So ain't nobody on no parole, probation. It's a rental. I got Oklahoma license, so I'm like 50 miles from the Oklahoma line. So it makes sense. I'm headed to Oklahoma. Motherfucker went back there, came back. He like, yeah, ain't nothing, no warrants, no nothing. He said, I'm gonna give you a warning ticket, and gave me my shit back. So whenever they take your license and registration, that's a form of them taking you into custody. When they give you a ticket and your license and shit back, they releasing you from custody. That nigga gave me that shit. That nigga took 2 steps back, came back to the window, tapped on the window, rolled it down. Yeah, can I help you? Now, he didn't release me from custody. I ain't did nothing, said nothing. He ain't seen nothing. He said, you give me consent to search your vehicle? A question he should have probably asked me before he released me from custody. I told him absolutely not. That nigga drew down on me like Barney Fife, shaking like Don Knox. Get out the car.
Nigga said like,
get me out the car. They wake my brother up. He don't know what's going on. Cup us up. I'm like a motherfucking replay. Nigga, all I'm saying is I do not give you consent to search the vehicle. That's all I said, nigga, for 20, 30 minutes straight. Dude went in the, the cab part of the car, front seat, back seat. He don't find nothing. Drug dog come, run around the car, no hits. That nigga popped that trunk, move this, move that, Saudi Arabia. That nigga jumped out the trunk like he ran into a boa constrictor, that motherfucker. Oh my God. This guy has artillery. Take us to the motherfucking police station, which is look like a 3-bedroom house. Walk in, the living room got 100 pictures of niggas with big mustaches. Look like they fought Billy the Kid and some other motherfuckers, right? I said, boy, Wack, you done did it now. They take the rental car down there, tear the rental car apart, because right now, at this point, they looking for some type of probable cause. Let's find some money, something, drugs, weed, something, a hidden compartment, anything. They don't find shit. Rental Enterprise charged my ass up for that shit. Another like $7,000-8,000 to reassemble the car or some shit. Hit me with it, right? So feds hit us with a hold automatically. Beaumont.
So the feds in Beaumont now have hit him with a federal hold. A federal hold. So this indictment, which started off as a state case, ended up being a federal case. The feds put a hold on the nigga, bro. Hit that motherfucking like button, nigga. 5 minutes is up. We could curse. Don't y'all understand that this nigga had a federal case and he's talking about Wheeler, Texas, and this and that, but the feds done picked the case up. The same feds that he got to investigate Big U. See, this is the beginning of CS2 Black. Hit that like button, man. Let's get to it. Wack100 federally indicted. Let's put that in there. Hashtag Wack100. Hashtag federal indictment. Where old boy go said that I was capping? Huh? Where old boy said that I was reaching? You know what I'm saying? See, I told y'all we got the content. The feds got Wack on carrying 3 guns, a AK, a shotgun, a pistol, and 800 rounds of ammunition, crossing interstate commerce, which gives the jurisdiction over the case to the federal authorities, more than likely the ATF. But we're going to keep talking about the feds not having a problem with Wack carrying guns. But just remember that. The feds picked it up in Beaumont, caught it in his case in Willard County, Texas, went to Shamrock, Texas, and was transferred to Beaumont. Let's go.
I think the feds in Beaumont hit us with a whole boom. So they like, don't send them up to General Pop. Put them both in the cell together. Nigga, you got an older brother and a baby brother, both ex-cons. Nigga, we went on sign language duty. Nigga, we ain't talking. We ain't doing nothing. We talking to each other with our eyes and heads. They thinking we gonna get in there, beast, and have a conversation. Boy,
got me fucked up. I ain't saying shit.
Don't happen. The motherfucking Rangers come, right? Look, the Rangers come. So the Rangers come. Now the Rangers was smart. The whole time I'm looking at the news and I see my brother name flashing across the news, right? Talking about they in search of a killer. I'm seeing my brother's face, everything pop up on the TV. The Ranger come over there with the boots, the buckle, nigga, the hat. He came to the door. He said, he looked at us, Jones boys, huh? We looking at this nigga. He looked up at the TV and said, I reckon I would have been on the same mission. Tilted his hat and walked out. He the only one that figured it out. Even in court, they never brought up my brother's death the night before in Oklahoma. They never put it together. So 7 days later, the feds came up there. They said that's all kind of shit you found. The way you got it.
So he's transferred from Willard County, Texas, to Beaumont to the feds. 7 days. He's in jail for 7 days. The feds got him for 7 days. This is in 2005. That's a very long time to have had the feds in your life. Oh, this is real nasty. Let's go.
Got him according to y'all audio and video, right? We ain't fucking with that. We dropped the hold. When they dropped the hold, I got a bail. So they tell him, give the younger one the bail first.
He say that the feds came to visit him to tell him and his brother that they wasn't fucking with that case. Imagine that. They traveled just to tell him they weren't picking up the case. They didn't want to email. They didn't want to fax it over. To have the court put it in the computer. Oh, no. We're cool. Let's let the state of Texas do that case. So he was in Beaumont, fed hold 7 days, and the feds visited him and told him they didn't want the case. Ooh, shit. Didn't want to pick up the case. They dropped the case.
Hey, you heard what they said. They said, get a younger brother bail. They failed. I was going home. no matter what.
No matter what, you definitely was going home. So they called the Fed office in Beaumont instead of the Fed office in Dallas office, which is closer. That's a fact. Dallas is closer to where he was caught up at. That's strange. You know what I'm saying? This is really, really weird. CS2 trying to clear and close his caseload. It's playing a gang of commercials now. Okay. Mike B, how are you doing today? Love it. Wack is sad shit. How is everyone tonight? Hey, salute. Slimeball TV said he defected. Hey, Stacy talking. When he defected. Let's get back to the content.
When that brother defected.
Hey, CS2 back. So,
what up?
So you get caught out in Wheeler, Texas. They take you to Beaumont, Texas, and the feds in Beaumont, Texas comes to see you. They told you they don't want to pick up your case, even though you admitted, and we will get to the paperwork so that y'all can hear him admit that to the police that he was traveling from California to pick up his mom, and his brother made a statement which kind of contradicted it, saying they were dropping off his mom. So we'll get into that. But CS2 back. So what did you have to tell them at that point to get up out of there and have the feds drop your case?
Listen, I already took my.
Cameron. Go ahead.
So this way, hey, listen, you bozos don't know how this shit go.
Right.
Okay. What happened is this. They told me, boom, you looking at X amount of time. I said, well, look, I didn't say too much, but I said this. I said, y'all got the guns. I can't go to jail. I'll do what I gotta do to do what I gotta do.
Well, bam. Boss Talk say that there's a 9-hour drive from Beaumont to Wheeler, Texas. Why wouldn't the feds from Dallas come visit you? Did you have friends already connected at Beaumont at the federal office, or was that Reggie Wright that had the plugs with them?
Well, see, what happened is because Reggie's an ex-cop, and Reggie, he already had the feds in his pocket from the Biggie Smalls and the Tupac investigation. So what happened was Darren Dupree, boom, he get Darren to pull me. I go all the way to Beaumont. Boom, boom, boom. I'm closer to home to work my deal. You know how I feel? Bam. So when I get to Beaumont.
This is
shit, but I don't put it past him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Man, that nigga Darren Dupree.
Yeah, man, it's nasty work. But let's get back to more lives from CS2 back. This is the birth of CS2 back.
It's a Friday. I don't know why they did that. Give me a bell first. I bail out. I said, so, you know, what about my brother? He said, oh, his bail will be here in about an hour. He said, but the bondsman will be closed. I said, oh, okay. I waited an hour. At this time, they transported us to Shamrock, Texas. Population 1,823.
Wait. So you done went from Wheeler County, Texas, to the feds in Beaumont, Texas. You say you there 7 days, and on the 7th day, they give you a bail, but they transfer you to Shamrock, Texas. This shit sounding weird as hell. How did you get from there? Well, we'll let him tell us. This shit is weird.
Right. So I'm like, come back to the one. I said, yo, is the bail? Yeah, the bail's up for Robert Jones. This is the bail. I said, I want to place bail. They said the bail bomb is closed. You got to wait till Monday. I had him that motherfucking black card. I said, put it on there. Rolling. Y'all let the wrong one out. He the broke one, not me. Let the wrong one out.
Got him.
Yeah, he the broke one. So, nigga, we walking down the street. I bullshit you down. It's about 5:36. Nigga, we are walking down a road, nigga, trying to get to Amarillo. Amarillo about 50, 60 miles or some shit. We walking down the road, white boy pull up in an old pickup truck.
This nigga said, then they release him, he get bail, he walking down the road, we walking down the road, and an old white man pick us up.
He said, where y'all headed? I said, I'm trying to get to Amarillo to the airport. He said, our airport closed at 5 o'clock. I reckon you're going to have to wait till the morning. I said, that's cool. Can you give me a ride? I went in my motherfucking pocket. I think I had about $187 shit, loose change. He said, yeah, that'll work, nigga. Me, my brother, and the white boy with the cowboy hat in the cab for the pickup on our way to Amarillo. And checked into now I ain't realizing my older brother, he ain't ever been on the plane. You know, this nigga beast, you know, this nigga, all he do is, you know what he do, go to jail, back to the street, say that's his shit.
Back and forth, right? In and out.
Next morning, he like, yo, let's just get a rental car. I said, nigga, you got to be fucked up. I got our brother's body held up at the motherfucking mortuary because we gone. We got to get back. It's a 2-hour flight, some punk shit. This nigga go to shaking and trembling. We get on the plane. This nigga done had about 7 drinks. Niggas, you okay? He like, nigga, I ain't never been on no motherfucking
He tripping
hard as a motherfucker, bro, yeah. So, long story short, I had to call a bail bondsman every Thursday or something. And every Thursday I had to call the bail bondsman, right? So my brother, Beast, you know what my brother do while we fighting the case? What you think he did?
Man, he goes on
called another motherfucking dope case.
He goes on the run. He go on the run.
No, he don't run.
Now, inside scoop is his brother, who was with him in Texas when they caught this case, is out on bail. While he's out on bail, him and Wack, he called Wack over to his house to talk about this case. While they talk about this case, he got some powder and some things in the kitchen and on the table. Some work, allegedly, right? Well, he was caught with some work and took a deal, so I'm not even going to say allegedly. He told one of his homeboys, this is Wack brother, and if we need to, I will bring his homeboy up here to tell y'all the whole story as Wack brother told it to him. And the next day or the day after that, when him and Wack talked about the case, them people come and raided his brother's house and they catch him on the cocaine. It was looking like the rat snitched his brother out and sent his brother to do a bid about 3.5 years, right? The craziest part is, while his brother do the bid for that dope, Wack is still on the streets fighting the gun cases. Y'all really believe it took a prison bid of 3.5 years and more to finish a gun case when this nigga done caught a whole new case, went to court, got sentenced, caught the chain, went to the pen, finished his 3.5 year sentence, and the gun cases in Texas still haven't been resolved. You know what that sounds like to me? Kind of like the boy Dale, what's his name? Dale Morrison, who will not be sentenced until he finished testifying against Big U. The case he got in Ohio, where he's the top of the RICO, read the indictment with Big U. He will not be sentenced until the conclusion of the Big U case, where he looks to get time credits and a downward departure. So until he testifies and or helps lead to a conviction of Big U and anybody else on that case he ratting on, that case is just in a limbo. And that's what it sounds like with this one. Let's go. Oh, we got the super chat. Jakara Moore, $2. Was the gun case before the Stutterbox case? Yes, sir. It was right after this that Wack100 was placed as a neighbor to Stutterbox, who was also going by the name of Mir Muhammad and a suspect in the Biggie Smalls murder investigation. Let's get to the content, man.
Run, he just catch a dope case.
Oh, he got another case real quick, huh?
Right?
Oh.
So the bondsman said the best thing you could have did was notify. So I called the bond, said, yo, my brother is incarcerated. Boom, 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 boom. He's like, all right, we're going to contact the courts and see how they want to handle it, right? So the courts was like, well, long as Cash Jones shows up, he can stand in the presence of with his attorney, right?
Wait. This nigga said the court said that as long as Cash Jones shows up for court, he can stand in as attorney for his brother Robert, Bob Jones. You can't make this shit up. Wack100 narrates the Main Street case, orchestrates Greg Kading with Mark Stevens. So he said, Mark told us something different. Now in this case, he bails him out, finds the white guy, goes, picks up his mom, his brother catches a case, and now he's filling in as attorney for Bobby Jones. This shit is brazy, nigga. Years later. Years. Let me see. Let me Google that real quick. Maybe Texas is different from the rest of the states. You know they are the Lone Star State. Can a citizen in Texas who has not passed the bar stand in for another suspect as attorney? Let's see what they say. And Rollin as frequently asked questions. Attorneys must pass the bar exam and practice law. And lawyers have also taken the bar exam and may or may not practice law. Can you practice law in Texas without passing the bar? You must be admitted to the bar and pass the bar examination. So there goes that lie. I guess the other lies wasn't good enough. He had to make it juicy. This nigga wasn't Johnny Cochran. He was Johnny Cockroach, nigga. This nigga lying like a motherfucker. Talk about he represented his brother Bobby Jr. in court and they allowed him. They show allowing a lot in Texas. 800 rounds of ammunition, a chopstick, a gauge, a pistol, allowing niggas who ain't passed the bar. Oh, this is nasty work.
So they went for that 2-3 times, then I had to hire another attorney to stand in his shoes. If not, they was going to extradite him to Texas, right? And he was going to sit there, right, fighting that case. So I didn't want that to happen. So I think I might have, he came home. It was crazy. He paroled. He did like 3.5, paroled. So I called the bondsman. I said, yo, he out. What do you need to do? He like, listen, he's not on our radar no more. It's been on your shoulders. You know, whatever happens, if it goes to trial, then he'll have to show up. He never had to show up. We beat the motherfucker. Illegal
beat the motherfucker. You're good to go, huh?
Illegal search and seizure, y'all. And I'm going to tell you what else happened. This is why it's good to bond out. One of the arresting officers probably about 4.5 years into fighting it, the nigga got caught sending dick pictures into the high school girl.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Now I got nothing to do with the case, but guess what?
Fuck his credibility.
Killed all his credibility. All of it.
Crazy.
So they couldn't put him on the stand no more. Even if he was gonna get up there and lie, it was over with. Couldn't do it. This why it's good to bail out and string that shit out. You never know what.
Show us some proof of this police officer. Was it Darren Chase or was it the state trooper? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. We want to have proof of that. In fact, we're going to look it up in a minute. Let's go.
What's going to happen? One of them officers get caught doing some foul shit. Everybody, Beast, you know how it is in the pen when we hear our arrested officer got caught doing something? Everybody coming back on the pill. Everybody in the motherfucking law library. And
you ain't lie, nigga. I'm 22 requesting straight to the CC2, nigga. I need to get in there ASAP.
Yeah.
I'm getting out. Everybody's cheering. I'm getting out. Getting out.
We in that motherfucker filing all kind of hated corpus.
Now they gonna question every police report he didn't wrote. Everybody here.
The old white man was Greg
Kading. Doing it once. You did it there.
Yeah, everybody, you good, nigga. Nigga on that phone, nigga, trying to get that lawyer quick.
But when you bail out, you gotta go into bitch mode. Find your auntie to go to church, go help her out 3 days out the week at the church. You gotta get low. Don't get out here, nigga, and act like you free, nigga, because you ain't. Nowadays, they got love. Nigga, this nigga Blueface, I had this nigga out on a triple bond. I started to feel like I was doing some foul shit.
That shit's crazy.
I'm like, yo, that nigga gone.
If you
like,
have the property, you can do it though, huh?
What you mean he got a bail? They said, Wack, he got a bail. I said, the nigga got on bond. Wack, booyah, second case. They catch another one. Gun case or some shit on the Super Bowl when it was in LA a year or two ago. Bam, another one. I said, oh shit, you done fucked, you tore up everything. Nigga, you out on double. They gave the nigga another bail.
And it used to be like that. You catch something, then get bail on bail. They rebate your shit, bring you back in, snatch your bail off you, all that shit sentence.
Yeah.
Hey, that's another line. Thank y'all for checking that out for us. Look at the chat in here doing it. Cali-born boot raised. It says Wheeler to Amarillo is 100 miles. He said it was 50, which was already a long way. So Wheeler to Amarillo, Texas is 100 miles. And he was walking and lucked upon a old white man. He swear to God, he told us he don't even believe in God. This nigga here. Let's go, man.
Once you was out on one bill, it was over with.
And wasn't it, 2 years, Unc, for catching another case on bail? What it carried, 2?
Huh?
What was it, like an extra 2 if you was on a bail on bail case?
Yeah. They was gonna give you
nigga, they ain't playing no years, like an extra 2 or
look,
something.
niggas got love these days. They wasn't doing that shit for us back then. Yeah. Your ass was out on bail and you caught a case. Nigga.
You get sentenced with an extra 2 years.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
So yeah, that's good information because niggas was sleep to that Fed shit on that boy. That boy, what's this, 2023?
Yeah.
That nigga might be out 2055.
He's gonna be old as fuck getting out. He fucked up.
Hey, listen, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button. Nasty work. So, salute to everybody that's already in here. We gonna get straight to the content. Shout out to my brother G-Mac. Hey, Yael. So, is this... Wait, fuck Yael. Hey, so, CS2 back. Is this...
What up?
Is this when you started working or was you working as soon as Reggie planted you around death row?
I think that part right there should be a mystery because what you fail to understand is this. When I was planted, when I was associated with Death Row Records through Veggie Rome, I could do no wrong because he's the police, dummy. I got the police in my pocket.
And what about Mark Beavens?
Mark Beavens is, we ain't speaking on that. I mean, to speak on that, that's a whole nother level. That's a whole, see, the money is different when you're working with the people. I mean, when the people working for you. So I can't, yeah, right. You know, so, yeah.
Yeah, we get it. So check this out. We're gonna get into this. One of the first lies, and then we'll move on because we do got the content. So can you stand in for another person in Texas? No, you cannot have someone else stand in for you in a felony court case. Only a licensed attorney can represent you in court, and you must be present for your arraignment and other key proceedings. You must be present for your arraignment, where the charges are read to you and the court ensures you have legal representation. Because if you don't have representation will be the court will appoint a counsel for you, bro. This is nasty work, bro. This nigga on here lying about another case, bro. This nigga really up here lying about another case, a Fed case. Oh yeah, this is nasty work, man. This is nasty.
I mean, what you expect? He's part of the feds. He's an agent. He's a 137 source. Dudes, did you read those super chats?
Oh no, let's get to them real quick. Perfect.
Okay,
time.
we got Jakara Moore with the $2 super chat. Question: was the gun case before the Stutterbox case? And then we got Boss Talk with the 1999 super chat. Help fund this war, people. Strong arm fire emoji and strong arm. Man, Jakar Moore and Boss Talk, anything and everything that is given to the Damu Kiwe Conversation team is highly appreciated. Blessings to you, your family, and your tribe. Deuce, you think that gun case was caught before the Stutterbox case?
No, it definitely was. If you look at the indictment paperwork that I showed, it was 2005, bro. The other case was in 2008. So when he caught the other cases and his house was raided by Detective Greg Kading and Darren Dupree and them dudes, he was already fighting this case. He still didn't finish this case before he finished the other case because he was out there working. So no, it was January 26, 2006. This case, he was indicted. So let's get into this real quick. I want to read this to y'all real quick. You know, let's get into the reading. You know, I hope you brothers understand reading is essential. You know what I'm saying? So they say if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. Well, here go a book. The book on the beginning of confidential source 2 back. Y'all see the authenticity, the stamp, court stamp, Wheeler County. Y'all just heard him talking about Wheeler County. You know what I'm saying? Sherry Jones was the district clerk. Sherry Jones. And she's still there. If y'all remember, old Debbie told us she's still there. She's still around. Oh, wait, this was the opposition to the state's motion to suppress. And, okay, yeah, we could get into it. So, Wack100's attorneys is filing a motion to suppress all evidence that was found in the search of the car, right? So, this is the prosecution's opposition, right? The state. Which is they're arguing against him trying to get the guns and anything else found, the police report suppressed so they could dismiss the case. Wack just lied to Beast and the rest of the Clubhouse world saying that the case was dismissed for illegal search and seizure. So let's go. Comes now state of Texas, buying through her assistant district attorney, and files this, her brief in opposition to defendant's motion to suppress any above styled and numbered cause. And as grounds, therefore, the state would show the court the following. Defendant was indicted January 26, 2006 for the offense of unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon under Texas Penal Code subsection 46.04A1. On August 15, 2006, the defendant, meaning Wack100's attorneys, filed a motion to suppress any and all tangible evidence seized by law enforcement officers or others in connection with the detention and arrest of Cash McElroy Jones. In this case, or in connection with the investigation of the case and any testimony by the Texas Department of Public Safety trooper or any other law enforcement officers or others concerning such evidence. Also, the arrest of Cash McElroy Jones at the time and place in question, and any and all evidence which relates to the arrest and any testimony by the Texas Department of Public Safety trooper and any other law enforcement officers or others concerning any action of Cash McElroy Jones while in detention or under arrest in connection with this case. The court heard testimony regarding the defendant's motion on May 19, 2010. Mind you, this indictment was January 2006. Why is it May 2010 they still fighting this case? This is not a murder. I had a conspiracy to armed bank robbery, went to trial, and went to the pen within 2 years. Wack100 is out after catching a federal gun case indictment for going on 4 years, bro. This is nasty work. He out there working. So, the court heard testimony regarding the defendant's motion. Trooper Darren Chase and Deputy Julian Torres testified at the hearing. The state urges the court should deny the defendant's motion to suppress, and in support thereof will show the following statement of facts. On April 16, 2005, so he caught the case in 2005, but it was indicted in 2006. Texas Department of Public Safety trooper Darren Chase was on routine patrol on Interstate 40 in Willard County, Texas, when he conducted a traffic stop of a brown 2005 Cadillac passenger car for traveling 77 miles per hour in an area where the posted speed limit was 70 miles per hour, as confirmed by his radar. So now they got reason to pull him over off the top because he's going 7 miles over the thing, which is confirmed by his radar. They got evidence of that. After the vehicle came to a stop on the improved shoulder of the eastbound lane, Trooper Chase made contact with the vehicle on the passenger side. As he approached, the driver only rolled the passenger window down about 1/4 of the way. When the trooper requested that the window be rolled all of the way down, he was informed that was as far down as the window would roll. During the period of time which the trooper was speaking with the driver and the driver was still in the vehicle, the passenger continued to sleep. The trooper advised the driver, later identified as Cash McElroy Jones, that he had been stopped for speeding. The defendant replied that he was a truck driver and always runs about 5 miles per hour over the speed limit. The trooper then requested identification from both the driver and the passenger. The passenger had to be woken up in order to provide identification. The trooper then asked the driver about his trip and was told that they were going to Tulsa, Oklahoma, because his brother got killed, and they had to take his mom back to California for the funeral. So, Wack100 just provided a statement to the police. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. He told them that he was going to Tulsa. So he's headed in that direction. So he's headed to Tulsa because his brother got killed, and they had to take his mom back to California for the funeral. He further stated that his brother's body would be flown back, but that his mother could not fly because she weighed over 400 pounds. Hey, see, that's too bad. That's a big bitch, my nigga.
Hey, my mom's was eating them chitlins, and she had a lot of stuff in her stomach. She had a lot of you-know-what up in her gut, if you know what I mean.
Man, I don't know. Hey, congratulations. Salute to your daddy. That nigga taking down a 400-pound bitch. That nigga, hey, that nigga's a horny nigga. You know what I'm saying? Hey, respectfully.
Hey, you got some. We got
salute to your crackhead ass daddy, nigga.
Hey, that don't talk about my pappy. Hey, don't talk about my dad.
Yo, dad, huh? Hey, listen. Your daddy's a bitch for knocking your uncle out for touching on you. You thought I forgot about that, huh?
I mean, I felt like a Marion. I was touched. Touched. I know you feel it coming down. Now, you know, I inspired Ray J, you know, with that one wish.
Oh, shit. So, okay. Upon questioning of the passenger, Robert Jones, the trooper, was told that their brother had been killed and that they were going to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the funeral. So now you got Wack saying that the funeral is going to be going back to California, and this dude is saying they're going to Tulsa because the funeral is going to be in Tulsa. So now they got conflicting stories, right? This is why they say you have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can and will be used against you, right? So now that's kind of suspicious already, right? But the fact that the brother had been killed is something that Wack in that audio, just go back and play it. Just said that nobody knew. They figured it out when he was at the station, and they said they figured they'd be on the same mission if that was them, old Jones boys, eh? I reckon I would have been on the same mission had I been you guys. So now the police know that you was going with all of these guns to Oklahoma for retaliation for the execution-style unaliving of his brother Zachary Jones that he still ain't got no get back for. Let's get to the content. Trooper Chase observed that during the time he was running the routine driver license check, that Cash Jones, the driver of the vehicle, could not stay still. He nervous.
I had to pee. I had to pee. That nigga had to pee. Oh, man.
The trooper, he had the bubbly guts. The trooper observed that he was pacing back and forth, bending over.
I mean, I know that position too well. Can't you tell? Wait a minute. Wait, it say bending over?
Bro, dead homies, let me blow it up. Hold on, we got it. Okay, you see it now? He said the trooper observed that he was pacing back and forth, bending over. Looking back at the vehicle. Look back at it. Look back at it. Look back at it. Look back at it.
Damn shit, girl.
Damn.
Sir, bounce a lot ass nigga. Oh,
indicating to the trooper that the driver was nervous. Yeah, all of those are signs of a nigga, this nigga Spooky Johnson, nigga. Also, during this period of time, the trooper observed that the car was rented from April 16, 2005 until April 18, 2005, and that they were traveling from Palmdale, California to Tulsa, Oklahoma. After completing the warning, the trooper went back to explain it to the defendant. The trooper observed that while he was explaining the warning to the defendant, he grabbed the clipboard quickly and signed his name very quickly. After the defendant had signed the warning, the trooper asked him if he had anything illegal in the vehicle, and the defendant turned away and stated no in a low tone, of voice. It was at this point Trooper Chase asked the defendant for permission to search the vehicle, and the defendant became combative at the request. Ultimately, the defendant denied the trooper permission to search the vehicle. A K9 was requested, and Deputy Julian Torres arrived with the K9 22 minutes later. The K9 alerted on the vehicle, and a probable cause search of the vehicle was performed. Now remember, earlier I told y'all Wack was lying because he said that there was no hit. The dog couldn't get a hit on the car. Now, here it is in the investigative report written by Trooper Darren Chase that the dog did get a hit. Another lie about a federal indictment. This is nasty work, bro. Surgically cut this rat ass nigga up. During the course of the search, troopers located a black rifle. He had that chopstick, nigga. A black shotgun, a loaded black pistol, along with several clips and large amounts of ammunition for each gun. Both the driver and the passenger were arrested for unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. A further search of the vehicle revealed a cigarette rolling apparatus which contained a strong odor of marijuana. Arguments and authorities. The court should deny the defendant's motion to suppress, while evidence obtained by illegal seizure must be suppressed as tainted fruit. The seizure in this case was not illegal. The defendant correctly argues that any evidence obtained by an illegal seizure must be suppressed as tainted fruit. In the present case, however, neither the detention or the search were illegal, and therefore the court is not required to suppress the evidence which was the result of the search. To justify an investigative detention, an officer must have reasonable suspicion based on specific, articulable facts that, in light of the officer's experience and general knowledge, lead the officer to a reasonable conclusion that the criminal activity is underway and that the detained person is connected with the activity. And they cite Perez versus the state. Because there were specific, articulable facts for Trooper Chase to conclude. Hold on, my phone is dying. Let me put this on here. Hey, y'all hit that like button, man. We over here cooking. Chef Do Sims, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. Hit that like button if you ain't already did it. All right, now my phone on the charger. Salute to everybody on Clubhouse. We got the booby trap in the building. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the booby trap. The booby trap. Show me your boobies. Therefore, the evidence seized as a result of the search need not be suppressed as tainted fruit. B. Trooper Chase had reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. The defendant argues that the purpose of the traffic stop was concluded when Trooper Chase issued the warning ticket to the defendant. The issue, however, is not whether or not the purpose of the traffic stop had been concluded, but whether the trooper had specific, articulable facts which would lead to a reasonable suspicion that criminal activity was taking place beyond the traffic violation. They cite Bustamante versus the state. Reasonable suspicion existed in this case. The defendant correctly states the factors Trooper Chase articulated as support for his reasonable suspicion. These include the fact that the passenger window would not roll down completely and the vehicle was new. 2, the fact that the vehicle had a lived-in look and that the passenger did not wake up during the course of the traffic stop. 3, conflicting stories from the passengers regarding the funeral. 4, the short time of the rental of the vehicle for such a long trip. 5, the level of nervousness of the defendant during the traffic stop. 6, the defendant quickly grabbing a clipboard in order to sign the warning. And 7, the low tone of voice used by the defendant when answering the question as to whether or not he would allow the trooper to search his vehicle. It couldn't even come up out of his voice. No. The nigga, no. The nigga, he got a low voice. That nigga, he couldn't even swallow at the thought of getting his car searched. Nigga, paraphrase from Trooper Chase's testimony at suppression hearing. When looking at the totality of the circumstances, these factors clearly establish reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. After making a stop for a traffic violation, an officer may rely on all of the facts ascertained during the course of his contact with a defendant to develop articulable facts that would justify a continued detention. Sims versus the state. The court must review the totality of the circumstances in determining whether the officers had a particular and objective basis for having suspected wrongdoing. In the present case, the defendant would like this court to look individually at each factor and determine that because each factor has an innocent explanation, he always think he can explain his way up out of crimes. That's what that rat do. That no reasonable suspicion existed to detain the defendant. However, the Court of Criminal Appeals has recognized that there may be instances when a person's conduct viewed in a vacuum appears purely innocent, yet when viewed in light of the totality of the circumstances, those actions give rise to reasonable suspicion. They cite Woods versus State. When looking at the factors in light of the totality of the circumstances as required by law, reasonable suspicion existed. Looking at the first factor cited by Trooper Chase, he stated that it was suspicious that the window would not roll completely down despite the fact this was a brand new vehicle. The window ain't going down and it's a brand new rental car. The defendant argues that because this was a rental car, in no way was he or could he be held responsible for the maintenance or upkeep. Trooper Chase testified that it was significant to him that the window did not roll down because oftentimes people who are transporting narcotics on the interstate will alter the vehicle in order to transport those narcotics. He further testified that, based on his experience, he felt that the window not rolling down indicated to him that narcotics were possibly being transported in the front door of the vehicle. Further, despite the defendant's assertion to the contrary, courts have recognized that a malfunctioning window can be indicative of criminal behavior. See Bustamante. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. The second factor cited by Trooper Chase is that the passenger of the vehicle slept during the traffic stop, and this created a lived-in look within the vehicle. Pardon me, I had to wet my whistle. The defendant would have the court believe that because there was a logical explanation behind the passengers sleeping that would negate the trooper's ability to use this in finding reasonable suspicion to prolong the stop. There is nothing contained within the record to indicate that they were telling the truth about the purpose of their trip. Further, given the circumstances, the trooper should not be required to assume at the time of the stop the individuals are telling the truth, especially true given their conflicting stories. Told that y'all this nigga can't keep his mouth shut. Trooper Chase testified at the hearing that this was indicative of criminal behavior because people who transport narcotics like to get where they are going as fast as possible, and that oftentimes people will sleep in the vehicle while the other person drives. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. The third factor, to which Trooper Chase testified, was the conflicting stories told by the defendant with regards to the purpose of their trip. Why are you talking and giving an explanation about where you're going anyway? You're getting a ticket for speeding, nigga. The nigga Spooky Johnson. This nigga better not be your crime, me. The defendant told the trooper that they were going to Tulsa to pick up his mother and take her back to California for the funeral because she was too large to fly, and that their deceased brother's body would be flown back to California. While the passenger told the trooper that they were going to Tulsa for the funeral, there is a significant difference in going to pick someone up for a funeral in California and in going to Tulsa for a funeral. Therefore, the stories given by the two individuals were in conflict. The defendant claims that the trooper contradicted this assertion by stating to another officer that the defendant and his brother both told me the same story. However, this statement is taken out of context by the defendant. Oh, Wack is notorious for you making one statement and he tried to take it out of context to confuse the situation and deflect from the facts. This is classic Wack100. That's how he got flipped the CS2 back. Just a couple of minutes before the statement picked out by the defendant, the trooper states, they gave me a little difference in the story with the deal on their mother. 9:17 a.m. and 53:12 on the recording. As I said, we are awaiting the camera footage of this stop and this federal indictment as we speak. When he made the statement for both told me the same story, he made no mention that he was referencing their destination or their purpose as the defendant claimed. He was clearly speaking about the fact that their brother had been killed, which was consistent between both individuals. What was inconsistent is whether or not the funeral would be held in California or in Tulsa. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. Fourth, Trooper Chase states that he thought the rental car was leased for too short a time for such a long trip. It is important to note that the defendant makes the erroneous assumption that the trooper knew at the time of the traffic stop that the defendant was telling the truth regarding the purpose of their trip, if in fact he was. Given the inconsistent stories, the trooper was free to disbelieve either individual's version of events. In hindsight, it's easy for the defendant to state that it is perfectly reasonable to make a 20.5-hour one-way trip, pick up their mother, and make the return trip to California for the funeral with 31 hours to spare had they done a nonstop trip. In reality, the trooper had reason to suspect that their story was fabricated and was in no way obligated to believe in its truth. In fact, there is nothing in the record to indicate they were telling the truth. Given the circumstances, it was reasonable for the trooper to believe that they had rented the car for too short of a time for an extremely long trip. Trooper Chase testified that his mistake on the rental date of the contract would not change his opinion regarding the trip's length and the time. Hold on, I think we got people in the chat. Let me pull them up. Jay Jones, come on up. Sounds like you might be related to the rats. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. Fifth, Trooper Chase states that the defendant was nervous because of his inability to stand still, his looking at the vehicle, and his fidgeting. The movements indicated by the trooper during his testimony are clearly visible on the tape. So, the tape corroborates that this nigga was shaking like a snitch at a gangster party, nigga. This nigga was shaking like a loose transmission, nigga. Loose caboose cannon. This nigga was shaking like a loose transmission, nigga. Scared. The trooper obviously perceived those movements and nervousness, which is a reasonable deduction from the actions. The defendant provides this court with case law indicating that nervousness alone is not enough to provide reasonable suspicion. However, that argument is irrelevant given the large number of other factors articulated by the trooper. Clearly, he was not relying on nervousness alone as the basis for his suspicions. Again, in justifying the suspicious behavior, the defendant gives a reason: the fact his brother had just been killed and he had been traveling a long distance. The trooper had no way of knowing at the time whether or not there was any truth to that story, and given the inconsistencies between the driver and passenger, it was reasonable for him to disbelieve the story and perceive the nervousness as an indication of criminal activity. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. Next, the trooper states that it was suspicious that the defendant grabbed the clipboard in such a hurry when he was asked to sign the warning ticket. The defendant claimed this is not supported by the video evidence, but he is incorrect in this contention. The video clearly shows that the defendant grabs the clipboard from the trooper before the trooper finishes speaking. This is consistent with the trooper's claims that the defendant was in a hurry. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. Last, Trooper Chase states that when he asked the defendant if there was anything illegal in the vehicle, he said no in a low tone of voice. The defendant claims that speaking in a low tone of voice does not equate to criminal activity. However, that argument misconstrues the trooper's testimony at the hearing. The trooper testified that the low tone of voice the defendant used when answering that question was in contrast to the normal tone of voice the trooper had observed during the rest of the traffic stop. The trooper testified that the significant indicator was the variation in the tone of the defendant's voice when answering questions about anything illegal being in the vehicle. This factor, viewed in totality with the other articulated factors, establishes reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant. Because, and then it goes into the legal argument, and their conclusion was clearly, when looking at the totality of the circumstances, Trooper Chase has sufficient reasonable suspicion to detain the defendant beyond the scope of the original stop. No evidence seized in connection with this case was unlawfully seized and therefore should not be suppressed. So, he wants to suppress the evidence found so he could get off this gun case. The government, the courts ruled against him, right? Let me see, which one of these is it? State's brief in opposition. Okay, let me make sure y'all can see this. Oh, y'all can't see it. Share screen. Hit that like button, man. We got 500 people in here. That's just on YouTube. Hey, share and invite y'all friends on Clubhouse. Hey, if you on YouTube, share with your friends. Invite your friends. Let's make this go viral. So, this was the court's ruling after CS2 Back's motion and the government's motion, right? Very short. Order on defendant's motion to suppress. On the 19th day of May 2010, defendant's motion to suppress came on for a hearing. Upon consideration of testimony and exhibits before the court, it is the opinion of the court that defendants, Cash McElroy Jones, motion to suppress evidence should be denied. It is therefore ordered that defendant's motion to suppress evidence is denied. Signed this 28th day of June 2010, the judge presiding. That's what it has. So when he tells them that his case was dismissed for illegal search and seizure, he's lying to you. He's lying blatantly to all of us. Not only did he tell us the feds had him held for 7 days, then he was transferred to Beaumont, that the feds visited him and didn't want to pick up the case. This is what he wants us to believe. He wants us to believe that he stood in as a lawyer, even though he never passed the bar exam. Then he said he walked from Willard to Amarillo, which was 50 miles, but it really was 100 miles, right? So even further than he said, before he was picked up by a white man who gave him a ride, right? Then he said his case was dismissed for illegal search and seizure. Well, the motion to suppress for illegal search and seizure was dismissed. He could not stand in for his brother, which is also a lie. And then he said that they didn't know that his brother got killed until they seen it on the news while he was in jail. So let me see if y'all can see this. Oh, yeah, y'all can see it. So his case wasn't dismissed for illegal search and seizure. His case was dismissed right here. Caught the case in 2005 and in 2011. March 7th, that's the hood day, 3 Sams, right? Now comes the state of Texas, buying through her attorney, and respectfully request that the court to dismiss the above entitled and number calls charging the defendant with unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon for the reason other interests of justice. So look at the boxes, though, that your case could be dismissed. The evidence was insufficient. The defendant was sentenced in another case. The complaining witness has requested dismissal. The case will be refiled. The defendant is unapprehended. The defendant is deceased. The defendant has been granted immunity other in the interest of justice. Wherefore it is prayed that the above entitled and numbered calls be dismissed, signed and dated this 7th day of March, 2011. Respectfully submitted, Jermaine Ong, attorney for the state. And then it has the stamp. So you got the court stamp, so you know it's official document. That niggas ain't running no fake work on this side. Receipts, receipts, receipts. So this is nasty work. Let's see what they talking about in here. Rule 35. Hey, Inglewood Legends, that's exactly what happened, bro. He's working to help get secure other convictions as a source. So so that he can work that time off. Noble 15, Beaumont, Texas, close to El Paso. They raid that house, everybody going. Ain't that many continuances in the world? Yeah, that's 5-6 years. Beaumont, close to Houston. J Boogie 510, salute to the real Damu Kiwe conversation. Salute, J Boogie. Facts, Mike B. The past EP Texas. That's up my city, Biddy. Alex Rand, salute to you, man. Shout out to El Paso, Texas. Winnie One got diplomatic immunity. Yeah. Over 20 years ago, and he remembers it was exactly 5:36 on the clock. Who believes this shit? Right. Claude, Lord have mercy. No, that's Cali shit. Wack was sent to no jumper by the people. Wack needs to be a script writer. He said he wrote a book. The name of the book that he wrote was called Infiltration. Boss Talk help fund this war. People, salute, man. We definitely need to help fund it. Thanks for the support, Boss Talk. If you ain't seen the drip before the splash, then you don't know Juice Wack been a rat. You have to be registered to practice in that state. Yeah, so this nigga just lying about the case, making himself out to be another hero. This is nasty. He didn't want his brother to hear that he gave info. That's what it was. King Ray, but his brother already said he a rat. If the bail bonding was closed, how do you pay the bill with the black card? Right. This nigga got a different kind of black card. Get out of jail free card. Let's go. No jumper, Adam 22, Vlad or the Fed. Yeah, hey, we finna get into that too. But I want to see what everybody was talking about before we get into it. So this nigga keep getting caught with these guns. And it seems like the feds don't have no problem with it, right? Let's get into some of the content about him getting caught with these guns. Because ex-felons with guns is just something that's really not allowed and permitted. Let me share this with y'all so y'all can hear this. This is African Bombarda's butt boy, Hassan Campbell. Let's get into this real quick.
This is how he presented himself to me. He said he got $800,000 out of Oscar De La Hoya for sleeping with a tranny.
Oh, that's the other charges.
You got hold up. The same nigga.
We'll get back to that later. My bad. Let me stop sharing that one. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop sharing that one. We ain't got to the extortion yet. We still talking about the guns. You know what I'm saying? We still talking about the guns, man.
Hey, Lamonte, you can't be talking about the guns unless you're talking about me nervously moving, bending over my buns.
No, I'm talking not them guns. It was more guns. You was CS2 back. You was talking about that you supplied guns to the Crips so they could kill other Crips. Sound like COINTELPRO to me. So let's see what's going on. Okay, wait, let me make sure y'all can see. Oh yeah, y'all can see. Let's get to it.
Wait.
Hey, no, answer this question.
No, I'm gonna get out. Hey, listen.
Answer
I'm
this
gonna
question.
make this announcement right here.
We need answers. We need answers.
Don't go to Highland. What? No, nigga. I'm going to get out of the way.
I'm standing on what I say.
Man do what he want to do.
You
giving guns to niggas, right? What's up with the Crip?
What generation? What generation?
They know who they is.
So you giving Kiwe's guns?
Oh, well, yeah, nigga. What? His whole neighborhoods I didn't get that with. And what?
Whole neighborhoods I didn't did that with.
What happened at
my own kind?
Yeah, what happened at the House of Blues?
They was going at their own, my nigga. They was going at their own.
I'm muting up.
Yeah, for real though.
They need
for real. That's how I know you ain't really from over there.
They need to DP you, nigga. I was right there.
Let's get back into that one more again, man.
What happened?
The Highland. Wait.
Hey,
No,
no.
listen.
Answer this question.
No, I'm gonna get out. Hey, listen.
Answer
I'm
this
gonna
question.
make this announcement right here.
We
I'm
need
gonna
answers.
get out the way.
We
When
need
it hits,
answers.
don't go to Highland. Wack, no, nigga. I'm going to get out of the way.
I'm standing on what I
That man
say.
do what he want to do.
You
Hey, guns to niggas, right? What's up with the Crips? That Crips kill.
What generation? What generation?
They know who they is.
So you giving Kiwe's guns?
Always, yeah, nigga. What? This whole neighborhood I didn't get that with. And what? So what that mean?
Knock down your own con? I'm saying that's weird.
What happened? What happened?
My own kind.
Yeah, what happened at the House of Blues?
They was going at their own, my nigga. They was going at their own, my nigga.
I'm muting up.
Yeah, for real though.
They need
for real. That's how I know you ain't really from over there.
They need to DP you, nigga. I was right there.
So yes, there it goes. Yael, what you think about that? This nigga keep getting caught with these guns. He said he supplied whole neighborhoods with guns. You know what I'm saying? This is really strange. An ex-felon online bragging about this, but the feds didn't want to come holler at him about this.
Right. He said, and I remember. I think I remember that conversation. He was in a certain room on Clubhouse, and I'm like, how is he so comfortable saying he supplied the Kiwe's guns and nobody's
He
coming
said
to talk?
whole sets, nigga. Not just a couple different Kiwe's. He talking about the whole sets, nigga.
Then he's implying, oh, they was taking out their own. Okay, so, but you bragging on the internet about selling guns or giving guns, whatever you were saying, that you did it openly. And the feds ain't hear this. They use Clubhouse as a tool and people's statements on Clubhouse as evidence that you committed crimes and they committed crimes, and you just openly said this shit. That's crazy as hell.
Super crazy, bro.
And niggas keep dealing with it. And they keep dealing with them, dude.
Hey, listen, let them keep dealing with them. They ain't gonna believe it. Got me greasy, and he telling on their ass. But it's cool. Let's get into African Bombada's butt boy, Hassan Campbell. Let's hear what he said.
Telling people that he supplied guns for both of them gangs to kill each other, and he's still running around in the street. Well, what does it say for you? What does it say? Telling people that he supplied guns for both of them gangs to kill each other, and he's still running around in the street. Well, what does it say for you? What does it say?
So there you go, Hassan Campbell saying the same thing. Then mind you, he told Luce about passing out them toys on 59th and him thinking that they was coming from Big U, but he really was the one sending them and not Big U. So he definitely has been incriminating himself. And I'm wondering, with a 6-0 and RICO indictment, how did he get away from prosecution also? But enough about that. Let's see what we got. Let's get into this extortion stuff. Well, first, before we get into extortion, let's go to the no jumper precinct. We're gonna go to the no jumper precinct. So everybody, if you dirty, put your pistols up. You know what I'm saying? And let me see. Where is this no jumper thing at? I thought I had it already out here. No. Well, it's all right. We're going to go ahead and get it. Hey, y'all hit that like button, man. It ain't that hard to go on no jumper and get it. Let's go on No Jumper and get it. 6 hours ago. Nasty work. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. We got 600 people in the chat. We need to pass up Sharice Mills live right now. Sunday service hosted by Sharice Mills. And she got about 40 more people in there with all them what's called. Let's pass them up with less subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Damu, Kiwe, conversation. Come on, man, we cooking. And they're going to be talking about a lot that got to do with us.
Damu Kiwe. Conversations. Let's go.
All right, let me share this with y'all. And then we on. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, man. Wack is Wack next to get indicted? Ooh wee! Adam 22 playing tricks on y'all. He know that boy got immunity. That nigga is not getting re-indicted. Y'all see how many cases he getting off? Let's go.
I want to confide in you and let you know that on Wednesday morning, I was penetrated by a man.
That ain't my type of conversation. Welcome to No Jumper, the Adam and Wack show.
What's crazy about it is that I don't remember anything. I was drugged. Now, for the record, this was a colonoscopy. This wasn't just regular old.
Oh, okay. You went and got your colonoscopy. Okay.
I did. Now, what I understand is that they penetrate you. They put a camera inside your hole. My thing is, I don't remember any of it.
What do you mean?
They put the
they
needle,
drugged you or something?
Yeah. They put a needle into my hand, which is that alone was kind of disturbing. But then they snap a little thing into it that inserts a drug into my bloodstream. Immediately, lights out. I wake up, I don't know, a half hour, an hour later or whatever. My first words to the nurse was, "It's done?" He goes, yeah, it's done. You're good. And I'm like, what? So, I mean, if it's that easy to drug a man and just take his manhood,
well,
how many times has this happened to me before?
Oh, no. But that's a procedure that you need to go. I tried to go down there.
Me?
No, it's crazy. No, to go get a colonoscopy. I tried to go down there because they would say at 40, you're supposed to go.
Mm-hmm. This is my second time.
But it's crazy though, right? Because when I tried to go at 40, they said, well, you don't need to come till you 45. Right? So when I went at 45, they said, well, you don't need to come till you 50.
They want you dead.
No, it's real shit. So
maybe
did you
the
go
doctors
to
are Crips.
You went to a private physician?
I got it done at Cedars, but it was recommended because I was actually suffering from colitis.
Well, that's why.
Yes, so
that's why, because they asked me a bunch of questions about this, that, and other. I'm like, nah. So they're like, all right, well, you don't need to come until you're fit. Like at 40, because I've always heard at 40 years old, all males need to go.
Right.
So when I went, they asked me a bunch of questions. Then they told me what they told me. So
I mean, I got
you
had
a condition.
My first one was when I was like 36.
Did you have something going on?
I think at that time the doctor just said this is a good idea. It's better to figure out if you got anything early on.
Yeah.
I mean, the crazy part is that I didn't eat for an entire day prior to that. It was my first time doing a full day fast, and I actually really liked it.
Hell yeah.
And I'm thinking of doing more of this.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it if you did it like every Wednesday.
Oh man, yeah, that's what I'm scared of though, because I pretty much was sitting around all day. I didn't really like do much, so I'm kind of like wondering.
I think you should juice though while you fast.
I mean, there's a lot of calories in that too. I'm trying to lose weight. That's my primary concern here.
Not if you use your natural juicer and you use.
I don't think juice is as good an idea as you probably do.
No, depending on what you put in there. It's like beet juice, beet, ginger.
Yeah.
Celery, spinach. You know, like don't load it up with apples, oranges, pineapple. There's a lot of sugar in that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you use things that don't have a lot of sugar in it, that's like good for the blood.
I used to be under the assumption that juicing would be really, really good for my health, like especially if I'm trying to lose weight. And as time goes by, most people that I ask about it are really not that pro juicing. Like, it's good for you, but if you're trying to get in shape, it's a lot of fairly empty calories. I don't know. Either way, back to me getting penetrated. I wish you were there.
No, you're not, bro.
I wish you could have watched over the doctor to make sure
bro,
that they didn't do anything weird.
That's weird. You got a colonoscopy, bro. That's not a Like you mixing like medical shit with some
With gay
weird ass
activities.
kinky
Okay.
sexual
But
shit.
there is an underlying element of it that was kind of sexual.
What are you talking about?
When I went in, I had a boner. When I came out, I had a boner. And I really don't know why.
Bro, because I've been telling you you're a gay man.
No, I think it was the fact that there was the nurse. I felt like she was kind of feeling me. I think she knew who I was. And I don't know that she's the one who actually penetrated me, but just the conversation, just having a nice little dialogue with a young lady might have got me into the bone zone. Because that was hard. Big hard.
That's your business, man.
Yeah. What about you? No, nothing like that lately?
I don't have conversations like that with men, bro. It's gay.
I think anybody who's seen the picture of you laying face down on the bed thinks that you probably need a colonoscopy.
Who?
I'm
speaking for the fans.
All men need that, bro.
Right. I just think based on that photo, it just kind of made me feel like this is a man who needs to be
Hey,
probed.
look,
There could
wants
be
some
something wrong
attention.
in here.
Hold on. Real quick, while we going through this, look, all this cap and fake news. Alexis K, if that's fake news, then all you got to do is contact old Debbie. You know, I was going to play Debbie, but we had played Debbie a couple days ago, so I didn't want to be repetitive, right? Who is still the clerk, the court clerk down in Wheeler County, Texas. That's where I got the indictment paperwork from, and I just read it all. For someone to know the arresting officer's name, to read just one of those documents, which was lengthy, let alone 7 that came in the email with me from Wheeler, Texas, and the clerk of the court. That would just so much detail. The deputy Darren Chase's name, then the other dude who was the trooper, then the trooper who came, the K9 name. That would be like miraculous for somebody from California who's never been to Wheeler, Texas, to know all of that information and put that much detailed information into paperwork. But thank you for the content. You know what I'm saying? Please keep commenting. Please don't shoot her. You know what I'm saying? Let her stay here.
What are you talking about?
Okay, we can move on. Maybe you're not ready for this conversation.
No, I don't do gay convo, bro.
You do. You just do it in a different way.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you just act like you're not a willing participant.
I talk to my woman.
He acts like he's not a willing participant in gay conversation.
Doing all kind of way
back.
Well, that is part of the thing is that me getting the colonoscopy, it did kind of feel like I was cheating on Brick because typically that was the kind of stuff that he and I would do.
You know what? Brick brought this on himself.
Yep.
Because right now where he's at, this ain't good conversation for him.
I was just kidding. To all the prisoners, to all the J Hoods of the world watching this, I'm just kidding. Never did anything gay with Brick.
He said it, not you.
He did say it. But that's sex play.
Yeah, but Brick's been to jail before. That's just like the Woods, they sex play each other in jail.
Brick said the blacks
Gang
do it as
members
well.
in there? Nah, they don't.
Brick said it's not as out of the ordinary as some people try to claim.
Motherfucking lie. Brothers in there don't do no sex. The Crip card, the Blood card, the Paru card, the Muslim card, they do not. The Christian card, nobody.
You haven't been locked up in like 30 years.
It don't matter.
Things
Listen,
might have changed.
30 years before I got locked up, the rules were the rules. The time I was there, the rules is the rules. And the time I haven't been there,
things have got a lot gayer, I'm guessing.
Nah, I'm sure.
There's a lot more.
It could be, but the straight people, they don't do it. But again, Brick, he isn't straight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's kind of like bi. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe his sense of humor is going to change while he's in there and he's going to like get word of me making these sort of gay jokes about him while he's in there and he's not going to be feeling it. But as far as I know of him, I feel like he would appreciate it. He would like to know that I'm still keeping this sort of thing alive. Anyway.
Are you putting some on his books?
Sure. You just said that.
Right, Alex.
What?
Well, you just ran down on Flacco and gave him a big old bear hug, which is interesting because he's got a variety of conspiracy theories about you. And
you should call him in here, bro.
He seemed he's on the news right now, but he seems as if
what's the conspiracy theory? I don't see.
He thinks you're losing your mind, and he thinks that you might snap and do something to him. His words.
I'm losing my mind. Why does he think that?
He says that you seem angry, irrational, that he just feels like you're kind of on the verge of doing something crazy. And he didn't say it, but it feels like the suggestion is that maybe this is because of the stress that the big U Rico is putting on you, since you might feel like, since you were so wrapped up in so much of his dealings, that maybe you're next on the feds platter.
What do you mean dealings?
Like I'm watching Rich Homie Quan, and he's talking about how when rest in peace, that when he had to come to LA and check in, that it was like you and Big U sort of two men in the situation.
We was having a conversation
about checking in.
No, I was already up there having a conversation. Again, he pulled up. See, y'all got it. This was crazy. When it come to me, you motherfuckers seem to catch amnesia when somebody's telling the story. He said he landed at LAX. Whoever picked him up, whoever he was with, told him we need to go to Crenshaw High. He said, oh, okay, that's the blue side. So I don't know Rich Homie Quan. I don't know. I just know him from, I really knew his mama.
You were at the football game talking business.
No, we were in the parking lot having a conversation. He pulled up
to check in.
Yeah, well, you got to remember, that ain't my neighborhood.
Right.
So he ain't pulling up for me. It wasn't like we were scheduled to meet Rich Homie Quan that day.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So he pulled up, and I seen him, and I never forget it. I'm going to tell you why I remember it. Because at the time, I used to confuse him and Young Thug.
Okay.
Right?
Typical unk mistake of that era.
So when he pulled up, they all got out the car. Everybody dapped each other up. You know, I'm kind of like letting them do their thing because whatever he come to do, I don't know what he came to do. And he didn't lie. He wanted him to go out there, I guess, with the kids. You know, on the football field. You know what I'm saying? You know, the kids in the ghetto, they don't see a lot of that shit. And that was all that was. But I don't, him saying that, I think he added to the conversation saying you flew in here and you staying here and staying there because those elements don't fit what he was there to do. That's kind of like, you kind of like issuing a threat. You know what I'm saying? When you telling somebody you staying here and your driver is this person and this, just that, it's kind of like, you kind of like issuing like a silent like threat. But I think he added that to it. And that's the conversation we need to have today. That a lot of these podcasts and when people get caught up in conversation, some of it be tainted with some real shit. And then a lot of it be tainted with some bullshit.
You're saying people make up stories, inflate stories to make them crazier.
You land, right?
Yeah.
Whoever he's with already done had conversations with Big U. Bro, we come in, we're going to pull up on you. Right? So me knowing him, he like, what time y'all get in? Hey, bro, we coming that way. What time y'all get in? Cool, pull up on me. I'll be at practice with the kids.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing it play out. That'd be cool for the kids. Nephew could come over here and, you know, come out there for the kids, right? This had to have been 2015-ish era.
Yeah.
Something like that. So if he actually came in, right, and went straight to Crenshaw High, jump out, Big U like, oh shit, y'all really here. What's up, nephew? Whatever. I bagged up. What's up, homie? What's up? Now he knew who I was. At that time, I remember I confused him with Young Thug. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Right? So he said, it's cool, we're going out here, you know, with the kids. You know, they out there, you know, they gonna go.
Here he is snitching on Big U again, pointing the finger. He's so afraid that he gonna get caught up on that indictment. He over here snitching on Big U again. So here's these allegations. So we already know about the paperwork on let's go to this real quick. He talking about he don't do no extortion and stuff, but you the one that went and conspired with Robert Ross and went and told Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens that Box had a sex tape and TMZ would pay a lot of money for it. But here goes another one. We're going to get into some of these videos while we're on extortion, because it might be a Rico coming around. He might have immunity on some things. I mean, he is the biggest rat in the history of Los Angeles, but he might not necessarily have total immunity on everything. So let's see what he was talking about here.
So why nobody ain't never like checked that situation? You know, they say the checking in and all of this here. I mean, like, you feel me? Why would have to check in with these?
But bro, see, here go the thing. That's something. Look, bro, and I wish I can get to the root. Who said what to make the younger generation take it like that? You can ping Kiddo in here right now, right? It's a few, the baby. It's a few. When they land in Cali, they call Wack. Oh, before they come, we be out there whoopty whoop. I know how they move, so I might tell them, hey, you know that after I was spotted at hookah lounge y'all like going to, that might have been kind of hot enough for you. They may want to steer clear of that. And remember them young word is they lined this up over here on the east side, so you may want to just giving you heads up. You go with it, but just kind of watching where y'all staying at.
If you go with her, but kind of like watch her, and she been setting up. Wack, how you so in the know? You understand me? Like, especially to be that age you is, you feel me? You up in age. Now, I ain't trying to say like, oh, gotta be old guppies, but like for you to be in so much of the young mix, you know, that's why they say it's a young man's game.
Nah, don't get no Airbnb in that area. Tell them you want one in Sherman Oaks or something. Or you know what? I got a homie, got a spot over here that's secure. Boom, 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 boom. And then when they land, they come see me. They get all the way right, and then they get on. I don't know who or what took checking in as if it's one of them, you better call me before you come. Before I go to Florida, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Texas, all these locations, I call my man, look, I'll be there Wednesday. They might tell me, Wack, we're going to be out of town, but such and such over whoop going to be on point if you need them. Or, okay, well, what's Wack? Everything going to be at the same spot when you get there. But cool, that's what it is. That's our checking in. If I need my niggas, because I may be coming in to handle my business. I may be with a shorty. I may be whatever, right? It ain't about I'm forced to move around, which you got to go in my pocket and give you some money or none of that. It's a mutual general respect for your jungle, and we keeping each other right because, bro, y'all know any given Sunday, nigga, something could happen.
Hey, man, that's different. See, niggas want niggas to tap in, right? And niggas want to have these relationships, right? But a forced relationship, nigga, is extortion. Self-preservation is the number one rule. So you should know how to move as a grown man. You should know how to move around and keep yourself safe and not what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what
that's what our thing is. I don't know what this do shit these niggas is pumping, right? And all this
y'all want to speak up? Y'all want to speak up?
I don't know what that shit is, bro.
What about the trick? We know who started that shit, blood. We know who started it.
Who started that?
6ix9ine and Shotty and them niggas.
They ain't start that.
Yes, they did, bro. They're not checking in, bro. They're not checking in and making it. They're not checking in and making it a negative connotation.
No Fly Zone was based on the collective at that table when it was on. For instance, Future old Trick some money. So me, Trick and Big U was real close at the time, right? Hey, Future old bro some money. All right, Trick in Detroit. Me and Big U on a red-eye flight to Atlanta. We coming to LAX. We coming through the security shit, putting our bag through the thing. Who we see on the other side? Future and the girl that's with the football player nigga, right? Sierra. We see Future and Sierra. I say, bro, is that who I think it is? He looked. I said, yeah. I said, you take the bitch. I got him. When we come to the thing, I say, hey, homie, you got that money for Trick? He take off running. I'm chasing the nigga on the.
Hey, homie, you got that money for Trick. Now, how crazy do that sound? You feel me? Like,
so this nigga talk about he wasn't doing no extortion, but here he is talking about him and Big U chase Future through the airport. That's just one story, bro. Let's get into some more of these stories about CS2 Back, right? And this alleged extortion, what you call it. I'm quite sure y'all will remember this one. Let's go. Oh, yeah, this is nasty work, bro. Hit that like button. We almost at 600. Get us over this 600. Matter of fact, and I'm not talking about 600 pennies. You know to dig what I'm saying? You know to dig what I'm saying? Let's go.
You went all the way to LA to get something for Kim? Mm-hmm. You were something else. What did you get?
Well, that's what she wants to show you.
Oh. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hey, girl. I wanted to show you guys.
Yeah.
Because I was just gonna cry, so I didn't. Don't cry. But I can cry because I don't know you to. So Kanye flew home last night, and he came back this morning. I want to show you guys what he got me. We're just.
Oh my God.
I want to show you guys what he got me. He got me all of the sex tape back.
Oh my God.
And he flew home and got computer was all
got all of the sex tape back from him.
And met up with Ray J at the airport and got it all back.
Met with Ray J and Wack at the airport.
That's amazing.
I know Kanye did this for me, but he also did this for my kids. I want to shield them from as much as I can. And if I have the power to, or if Kanye has the power to, like that is just the most important thing to me. And I'm just like so emotional because of it. And it just means a lot to me.
I think I need a security guard just to stand by this janky bag.
Thank you for Kanye and for his unbelievable way he does things and the ability to get some.
Oh, for some money. Ain't that what he said about to Trick? Now here he goes, getting some money up out of Kanye for this stuff with for the rest of the sex tape. He manages Ray J, right? That's his partner in crime, right? Well, he started off as security for Ray J, and then Ray J kept him on. Ain't that right? So tell me what y'all think about that in the chat, man. Stay active in the chat. The chat's where it's at. If you just came in and you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. On top of that, make sure you hit that like button, share, tell a friend. We already over 601. Let's try to get over 700, man. Let's go. We cooking right now.
We don't care how many chickens or turkeys you pass out. Yeah. We don't care how many book bags you done passed out. What we care about is these wiretaps. We care about these confidential informants.
What it do? We back with another video, man. So with all
care about them confidential informants, what we care about. But real quick, Thirsty Third, great point that I forgot to and just took for granted and didn't speak on. So it was the prosecution that asked for the case to be dismissed in the interest of justice and not Wack's attorney. Nasty work. Nasty work. Let's go.
Incriminating evidence by Loose Cannon and all these guys on social media. It's crazy, man, because Wack100, as y'all know, he has a lot of Clubhouse content, audio, where he's actually talking about his extortion schemes. You know, the Gilly the Kid, Wallow, Oscar De La Hoya, and a whole bunch of people, man. He extorted, and he was playing those kind of games too. On audio, y'all, way more than Big U. So pretty much, you know, this is just a recap of all the things Wack100 was saying. that I think is way more worse than Big U. And also, you know, the fact that him and Big U was actually running buddies at one time. So he knows a lot of things, and he was doing a lot of things with Big U, you know. So check this out, y'all.
But then again, you know how the feds work. We don't care. But then again, you know how the feds work. We don't care how many chickens or turkeys you pass out. We don't care how many book bags you done passed out. What we care about is these wiretaps. We care about these confidential informants. And we care about your actions. About is these wiretaps out. We don't care how many book bags you done passed out. What we care about is these wiretaps. We care about these confidential informants. And we care about your actions within the means of the law.
I'm like, damn, Wack. I'm like, I must be the lucky one because Wack is storing everybody.
Damu, Kiwe, comment. Hey,
we've got 350,000.
Share, tell a friend. We took it.
The pictures came out on the internet.
Because he wasn't paying you.
Okay. What you think he did pay for not to come out on the internet?
Oh.
The video.
Some booty stretching.
No,
some Benzino action?
What? Same position. Legs back, fishneck heels.
Love you, Ray.
10-inch, 12-inch banger.
Shut up. Like that?
That's what didn't come out on the internet.
That hard.
Hard. 4 of them was in there.
Damn.
No.
You got, hold up. The same nigga.
Hard. 4 of them was in there.
Damn.
Coked out and they was working.
We already know he can take a punch.
Shit, he can take a jab too.
This is how he presented himself to me. He said he got $800,000 out of Oscar De La Hoya for sleeping with a tranny.
No.
You got, hold up. The same nigga.
Never called
this is how he presented his.
He said he was.
He on another level.
But that,
Gillian,
see, I don't know if Adam 22 know about me yet because he big. He on another level.
But that's my family. We got him in the back pocket.
Oh, okay.
So when you want to come out here and do it with him, around the corner from him. He gonna be like, right, let's go.
Oh, okay.
Adam 20, that's what I brought together. Adam 22, me, Adam, 6'9", you there. That's guaranteed all us. Authentic, ain't no fuck shit. Ain't no fuck shit. Gillian Wallow and fucking the nigga Tree Champs, I squeeze them niggas when I want to. Cause they know they gotta come out here.
He said he got them in his back pocket and he squeezes them when he got to because they know they gotta come out here. Nasty work. Let's go, man.
You know what I'm saying? Gillian Wallow and fucking the nigga Tree Champs, I squeeze them niggas when I want to. Cause they know they gotta come out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But them niggas ain't all that's right there. That's whatever the fuck we need to do. Nigga, we already got our shit, right? That's all we need. That's it. Them niggas is 150% Wack what we doing, that's it. I call that nigga Adam right now. Yo, nigga, I saw him come out. He want to ride. Wack what they want to set up. How you want to do it? That's it. Authentic. You know what I'm saying? We're going to control the narrative, do it how we want to do it. The rest of them niggas is going to duck from us.
Wack, you underestimated me. I can't be squeezed. I'm not Nori.
As I was going to ask you, I was like, yo, you ever recorded
that? Ever.
Right.
You will never hear a math. Like, you got to understand something, right? Wack100 just blackmailed Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. He announced it. I made a video on that. He announced it that he got the tape. Y'all want the tape? I got the tape.
Mm-hmm.
That he got from Ray J, the sex tape. Kim Kardashian went on the internet crying.
He still manages the game.
Manages the game. Ray J. He got the tape from Ray J. Because the tape is with Kim Kardashian and Ray J. Ray J, he manages him too. So now, Kim Kardashian says one of her kids see an advertisement for the new tape. She starts crying. She calls Kanye. Next thing you know, Kanye's making a song with Game. So wait.
And that's a fact. Hey, fuck No Jumper. Ain't nobody going up to No Jumper. That police at the feds watching that. Niggas done caught him slipping several times. Big Red 66. Obviously, you ain't really tapped into the streets as you claim, because you would already know that. You talking about the Novo. That's in the paperwork. Nigga, he was pleading for his life. You talking about J-Rock knocking him out in the dressing room. You got the Cedar Blocks who put hands on this nigga. What does you mean ain't nobody caught him in No Jumper? Fuck No Jumper. Of course he want to go to No Jumper. Nigga, that's Burbank. The police out there gonna lock a nigga ass up, and they got cameras everywhere. Nigga, he done already been caught slipping. Ain't nobody trying to unalive that nigga and go to jail for unaliving a federal source. Niggas is just gonna beat his ass every time he come out. Embarrass him. That's why he don't come out.
Wait, let's piece this together. Slow down. Yeah. Let's piece this together. Yeah. Wack puts the squeeze on Ray J for the rest of the footage. Mm-hmm. Ray J, he don't want no problems. He gives it up. Right. Game is still his most successful artist. Right. He puts that information. When I heard that, I was like, it's got to be a troll. I didn't put the pieces together. Wack used to do security and manage Ray J. Now, you go look at my last Instagram post that I posted, my video I posted today. Kim Kardashian and Kanye's talking. He brings the tape to her, gives her the tape. And Kanye says on the tape, this will be the last time I get extorted.
I'm Sheriff David Zerner with an urgent message. We can't keep you safe when liberal judges refuse to actually punish violent criminals.
And conversation.
Because this whole time we sitting there like, why is Kanye asking for his wife back? We're doing a song with someone who violated her on record the craziest. Because I was confused by that. I was like, is he using this divorce as a promo tool for everything? Like, I don't think that's Kanye. Kanye is a little too much heart on the sleeve. So why would he have Game, who had a whole verse going crazy on Kim Kardashian? Because he had to get the sex tape back. Because he had to get the tape. So now you see Game and Kanye play good cop, bad cop. And who looked up, and then let's take it to the point to where that you got Game sitting up there saying Kanye West just did more for me than 50 Cent, Jimmy Iovine, and Dr. Dre. That bag was crazy. And I was just, you know what?
Better holler at Oscar De La Hoya's attorney. Tell that nigga I got a couple videos and pictures. He don't want him to come out and tell that nigga run that bag. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Wack, how do you get all this shit? Like, what the fuck?
Nigga, I paid $850 off Oscar. The nigga didn't want to pay me another $250,000. That's why the pictures is up on the internet. Go
that was your first real one, huh, Wack? That first one, huh?
Go Google Oscar De La Hoya fishnet. Watch it.
That was your first money bag. That one of those ones, huh, Wack? Yeah. I remember when you did that one, Wack.
It's a video that go with that made me $850, and he with the heels on, legs back, getting banged out with a 10-inch stick. Get out.
Absolutely not.
But if you go, what the fuck? They didn't want to pay for them pictures, so nigga, that they went. But the video, they did the business, and y'all ain't seen that. That was horrible. They had two ladies spreading the legs, one bitch just banging. But no. You seen them? No. You looking at them? Lady kill, I'm the truth.
No.
Yeah, don't fuck with Wack. Oh, no punches. But that nigga Oscar De La Hoya about them pictures, that was hilarious.
No, you talk about when Oscar had...
He not only did he have to admit it, but he tried to act like everybody else was into it too. That nigga said, oh no. He said, I'm pretty sure 90% of the men has dressed up in their woman's clothes. He said, no, I don't know about that. I was laughing.
Yeah, that's your shit.
But
It'll take like 2 hours.
But that's what I'm
sober.
Oscar. Yeah. Then you had to go by the side when you was not sober.
No. What happened was, and I've talked about this a lot in my documentary too, because I'm open about it. I don't get. I was getting with bad people, this and that. 2 women come in my room with a suitcase. That's all I remember. And after that, I wake up the next day.
What's in the suitcase?
Well, women's clothes.
Oh,
yeah, women's clothes. This, that, yeah. They set me up, but it's okay. It happened. So what?
He's in fishnet stockings and high heels and lipstick.
So if he had paid some money, well, why is all that stuff out?
The pictures are out. The video never came out.
So there's a video of him in the same shit?
No, there's a video. A very, very active video.
That's why everybody's trying to figure out how the fuck you get a video.
Video never come. Bro, like, niggas, what you worried about what I do? What you know what it is? They say Wack is just a dude from the valley. He don't know nothing, nobody. Ack, you been around me. I think you know it's a little deeper than that, right?
Yeah, like you clearly got a large reach with everybody, and everybody come tap in for this, that, and third. So you probably privy to some shit that people ain't.
Why they worried about how I got what I got or why I do what I do? Y'all just keep the same mind that Wack is a little bitty guy, little bitty nobody guy that don't know shit, that don't know how to do shit.
All right, y'all. Let me know what y'all think, man, because it just seems like a Wack100 RICO might.
A Wack100 RICO might be coming. Hey, Top Media TV, salute to you, but you gonna be waiting. You be coming back reincarnated before you see a Wack100 RICO. Nigga, he'll tell on all of LA, New York, and any motherfucking where else before he spend a day in jail. Nigga, all this shit he been collected for years, nigga, everybody going to jail. Nigga, his 400-pound fat-ass mama going to jail, nigga. But look, I just wanted to show that crazy how they got Big U. They got him, Wack, all throughout the paperwork, but they ain't came to talk to him. You a victim in the paperwork at the Novo, but they ain't came to talk to you. But they called you when you had back and forth with Jay Prince over this Larry Hoover audio or whatever, right? With the lady with the audio. They call and do a wellness check, right? They do wellness checks with Wack100, nigga, the feds, nigga. And he misspelled bureau when he stored the feds number in his phone, right? If you believe that. But we give you benefit of the doubt. You get calls from the FBI, right? But on top of that, they don't want to talk to you about that. Loose Cannon is currently in the supposed to be in the feds. He might be in witness protection. Who knows? But they already got him, and they're talking about this no jumper beating and all of that within the indictment. And you mean to tell us that he came up there with you and they haven't came to question you about what happened? I don't believe the feds move that irrationally and make such harsh decisions. It took them 4.5 years of investigating before they put out the criminal complaint and arrested Big U, right? But you want us to believe that they rushed to judgment to lock up Loose Coochie Cannon before they even talked to you? I mean, he was up there with you, right? So they didn't want to talk to you about that. Or you coming back with the watch that was taken off of him on videotape in a robbery. And you coming on no jumper with this watch. And they didn't want to talk to you about how'd you take the victim's watch or ended up with the victim watch, where you came, who was there with you, who did you see there? You mean to tell me that the good old FBI didn't do all of this investigation before they locked Loose Cannon up and put this in a complaint on Big U and in the indictment on Big U? That's kind of hard to believe. They very thorough. The feds are sleep with you for years before they come get you, but they got him, and this is one of his charges. You were also the one that got Loose Cannon on academics and No Jumper when he implicated Big U in these robberies and extortions. You were corroborating evidence. You were clarifying evidence about crimes. You were clarifying crimes, right? And you have experience with this man. You want us to believe that you haven't went and talked to the feds about your experience with Big U? I mean, not only did you bring Loose Cannon onto this platform and coerce him and orchestrated this whole snitchathon, he went on a snitch tour. You can't get Blueface for the game on a world tour, but you can get Loose Coochie Cannon, Loose Colon, Loose Abu Boo Cannon on a snitch tour podcast to implicate Big U in these crimes that you already know about. You knew Loose Coochie Cannon was allegedly the culprit who's supposed to rob Dale Morrison's dispensary. And after Dale Morrison told you, I'm working. Fuck Big U. I told him he was trying to extort me. You thought it was a good idea at that point to use your phone to put Loose Cannon and Dale Morrison, Dale the long tail rat, on a phone that's wired up because he working and you working to talk about what else? Implicating Big U. You know he's working on Big U because he told you. So now you put him with the person that you know was alleged to have participated in robbing his shit to talk about this robbery. Corroborate the story that Dale the long-tailed rat already told the federal authorities. He already claimed that he's being extorted. But the feds don't want to talk to you about supplying Crips with guns. But the feds have no interest in talking to you about the No Jumper beating. The feds have no interest in talking to you about the corroborating evidence and clarifying crimes that you were doing on No Jumper in the viral No Jumper clip that is cited in the indictment. The feds didn't want to give you a wellness check about you begging for your life. Eugene, not in front of my wife and kids. Eugene Henley, Big U, I see you, Big U. Hannibal, I see you, Hannibal. Don't do this right here. Don't make me. Eugene, I see you, Eugene Henley. The feds didn't want to ask you or question you about that. Okay. I see what's going on. Let's get back to the content.
Go crazy. They fans. He like, yeah, shit, cool. So he went out there and walked with the kids and they did their shit. So why in that situation would a person go having a conversation about motherfucker know who you stand at, who your driver is?
I think it's at least in part because
it don't even make sense.
Much like Big U, you've kind of gone into detail about a variety of situations that a lot of people are conflating with extortion at this point.
Hey, this nigga had to drink some water. His mouth got so dry. We just showed y'all all of these stories about alleged extortion, right? And he just put it on Wack. People are wondering why they coming to get Big U for these alleged extortions, but they not getting you for these alleged extortion. He's essentially telling Wack that the cat's out the bag. Your cover's being blown, nigga. Listen.
Point.
What do you mean by that? What you mean?
It's been supposed, and we don't have to get into the details of every single one of these situations, but it's been, you basically said in the past that Oscar De La Hoya was paying to not have his nude photos or zesty photos released.
Stop right there.
It's been said that you were talking to Nipsey's family about the gay tapes of him not coming out. I don't know if there's money involved in that. It's been suggested that maybe Kim Kardashian at one point or Kanye, that they were doing stuff for you so that you didn't release more sex tapes of her.
Okay. Now, let's start with the first one.
And when academics kind of tried to bring up some of this stuff on the podcast, you got very irate and you were really kind of screaming at it.
Because y'all dumb.
See, right there.
You're a dummy too. I gotta call you a dummy.
Okay, but
because I'm gonna show you.
But starting with the name calling makes you look more guilty.
No, I'm gonna show you why. Oscar De La Hoya.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to the conversation, I clearly state this is what the attorneys worked out.
Mm-hmm.
See, the minute the attorneys are involved, right? This is not extortion. This is a business deal. Oscar then talked about it openly on Club Shay Shay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the minute you get attorneys involved, see, if you have something, right? That's yours. It's yours. And you got the consent to have it.
Okay.
And you like, hey, bro, check this out. This is really pertaining to you. Hey, attorney such and such, contact his attorney. Tell him if he wants to take possession of this shit, right, to where I don't use it, let me know. Right? He calls his attorney. They negotiate what they negotiate. They draw up their paperwork, right? He never one time talks to Oscar De La Hoya, right? There's never conversation between the two. The minute you get attorneys involved in these type of situations, that's not an extortion, right? So we're going to Kanye next, right?
Sure.
This started on Bootleg Cam.
As soon as you get an attorney in this conversation, it's no longer extortion. This is what his dumb ass believes. America's dumbest criminals, right? Let's go ahead and see what they said about whether or not that was still extortion, right? Because you bring your counsel in, it can no longer be extortion. This is what Wack100.
I got a question before you.
Yeah.
He said before you bring the attorney in, it's not extortion, right?
No, he said when you bring the attorney in, it's no longer extortion.
Okay,
right
there. So it must have been extortion before you brought the attorney in.
Yeah, it would be extortion without the attorney. So hold on, let me find this because I was damn, what the hell did I send this to? Oh, I sent it to the chat. Hold on, let me send this. Let me send this now, right? Because this was some nasty work, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Maybe it was in Exposed the Exposers or something. Because let me see real quick. We can get into this, and when I find it, I'll play it for y'all. Nasty work.
Cab, did it not?
I don't remember.
Bootleg Cab said, "What's up with these extra tapes I've been hearing about?" I said, "Yeah, it's a couple extra tapes." He like, "What you gonna do with them?" I said, "We would never do anything with them but give them to Kanye." That's what was said, right?
Okay.
You can pull it up, right? So guess who calls me?
The Kardashians.
Kanye.
Oh, Kanye. Okay.
Wack, what up, bro? Man, I seen boom, boom, boom. Yeah, is that real? Yeah. Well, how could I? You said, okay, cool. I'm gonna put you with little bro. Y'all, you know. Yeah, tell him, send him to the airport. Bro, grabbed it, drive, went to the airport, gave it to him.
Okay.
So this is what he said it is. Let's stop this real quick because we're gonna get into the America's dumbest criminals. See, this is how niggas end up in jail. If he didn't have immunity, he would be in jail. But he got immunity, so he gonna get away with it, right? All right, let's share this with y'all. Boom, hit that like button, man. We cooking. All right, boom. Can y'all see that? Okay. Yes, you could potentially be charged criminally. What you're describing may be considered extortion or blackmail, which are serious criminal offenses in most jurisdictions. Here's why. Extortion typically involves obtaining money or something of value through threats, such as threatening to release private or damaging information like a sex tape, unless you're paid. Even if you go through an attorney, the intent matters. If the goal is to coerce someone into paying you to keep something secret, it can still be seen as illegal. Attorneys can negotiate settlements for reputational issues, but they must be careful not to cross into criminal conduct, and they are ethically bound not to assist in extortion. A better course of action, if you truly possess such material and are concerned about legal implication, is to speak confidentially with your own attorney and not distribute or use the material as leverage. So, yeah, you can be charged for that. You telling your lawyer that crosses his ethical responsibilities, and it is still a crime. So good luck with that. CS2 back no more.
Or it was a man keeping his word and just saying, here.
Mm-hmm. But you realize most people don't monetize their life in such a way. I'm not saying that there's anything inherently illegal about it, but most people don't obtain sex tapes and then profit off of not releasing them, lawyers or otherwise.
No, the profit came after the initial release. That shit been out since like 03.
Which, the sex tapes?
04, yeah.
Well, the original one, yeah. But you supposedly had more.
Yeah, but again, and then Kanye went on a show and delivered the drive.
Mm-hmm.
Has anything ever come out?
Not yet, but Kim K's an op now, right?
She ain't my op. She ain't ever did nothing.
Well, Kanye's op, and you're Kanye's homie, right?
Well, that has nothing. That's his ex-wife, bro. That's the mother of his kids.
But
if you look at the bootleg cab show, when he asked me,
he seems very upset with her.
No, when you asked me about it, he said, "Bro, what y'all going? Y'all can make." So I said, "We would never do that, bro." Like, and at this time, I wasn't even. I knew Ye. We talked time to time, right? It wasn't no like that's my partner at this time, right? I said, we're just sitting over in the safe, like we ain't got no. That's it. He got kids by her, like on some real shit. We just give it to him. You wouldn't, absolutely not. Well, he asked me that on the show.
Okay.
So Ye called my phone. That nigga called me. Right? Hey, boom, boom, boom. Right. I said, yeah. He said, I seen it. That's real. I said, yeah. I said, how could I get it? I said, I just had a little bro bring it to you because I don't want to have that discussion with him because that's his, you know what I'm saying? That was his wife.
So there was never a time where Big U said to you, hey, this weed shop, they owe me 20 grand. Can you go grab it?
I never did that type of business with him. I'm gonna be real. I've never ever seen him personally. I've never seen
That's
him.
a fact. Shout out and
take nothing from nobody.
Okay.
I got a lot of people that's close friends of mine that I may see once every 6-7 months.
Right.
I don't run with nobody every day. No human being do I run with every day.
You were doing your own business with him.
I had my trucking business going on, my music business going on, my real estate business going on. Y'all got to remember, we was trying to bring him into the fold to help him find a lane for him.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? That's all that was. We was positioning the table, different Crips, Bloods, of Power Rules from different sections, right, that we feel could be a voice, a prominent voice on the West Coast who wanted to be part of the music industry. Those of us that had certain plugs and connections, right?
So you were trying to bring him more above board.
That was our only movement, right? And everybody will tell you, dudes from Long Beach, if you pull up Bridging the Gap, that's Wack bringing K Slay out here because we had lost all our radio out there. Me and K Slay built the bomb, but I didn't keep it to myself. I brought him out here, took him to all the different neighborhoods, allowed the rappers to exchange numbers with Slay, and then they built with Slay. They did mixtapes and did shit, and boom, so vice versa. So when Slay needed things for Papoose at the time out here, it was just a phone call and we made it happen. So we was trying to rebuild the bridge that should get burned down. Because at this point in time, it was like they was over there and we was over here. It really wasn't nobody conversating.
Okay.
So we came up with this bridging the gap thing. And that's how that started. But all the business, the real estate business, I did when we helped him with his home. The Nipsey Hussle business, Gang spoke on that on Vlad. What else did we help him do? When he started to build the Crenshaw Coast organization, me getting my artists to post the signups. Scooty, about this time, Scooty bikes was hot. So us having Ray J show up on the flyer, Ray J's coming to give away a free Scooty bike to the whatever. Everything we did with him was business. And I'm gonna be real. Anybody that know Big U, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Part of his problem I had with him about the music business is I would tell him, yo, such and such sign the artist. He like, bro, I only want to sign people from my area.
Right.
Big U's a dude that's big on his area. And I'm gonna be real with saying that. I think Big U only would do this type of shit with people from his area. If you look at the indictment, everybody is from his area.
Right.
I don't think Big U trusts to go outside his bubble to do any type of criminal acts.
Because that's why extortion has become so much less popular over the years, is because people are more willing to go to the cops. The cops take it extremely seriously. So the real primary candidates to extort are people who are doing illegal business, like a sort of black market weed shop makes sense, a strip club, who knows what kind of stuff they got going on. You can extort a drug dealer because they can't really go to the cops in the same way. You know, like people always kind of assume that like No Jumper has been extorted, but nobody's going to come to us and try to extort us.
Somebody asked me that last night.
Because what am I going to do? I'm going to call the cops.
Somebody asked me that.
Quickly, your whole operation is going to fall apart.
First of all, let's be real. Unlike a marijuana shop, there's no money on hand here.
That too, yeah.
Your money comes from
cash helps.
Yeah, dog. That so there's not so when it comes to that, when I was reading it or Prince was reading it, you know what I mean? It was kind of like, see, because I know the time frame and I know what I'm hearing. It was kind of like when I bagged up from him, right? He went back to his old roots. Because I'm gonna be real, a lot of the people was against me bringing him to the table.
Because they thought he was shady, or
they were scared of him. They thought he was shady. They like, yo, Wack, fuck, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of my people was against it, and that's why you never hear his name tied to nobody else's name like it was mine, because they dealt with him when they had to.
Right.
I was a dude that went and got to know his family.
Trying to be a real friend.
You know what I'm saying? I go to his crib, he come to my crib. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to know his family, and you know whatever I could do, I would show up certain funerals and things. You know what I'm saying? People I had met like Sandman and people I'd been to a couple funerals. I've been to his mom's house. You know what I'm saying? I met his pops. So it was kind of like we kind of had a brotherhood going on. But once again, at this time, 8 out of 10 conversations when I got a call from him was him calling me because somebody was on his phone pertaining to business. So what he did turn into, what we did help him turn into, was a magnet. He was a magnet name. If you could get to him, you can get it done. Everybody couldn't get to me. I didn't talk. If I wasn't dealing with you, I didn't talk to you. But if you could get to Big U with an idea you got that something Wack could help with, Big U will call, hey, little bro, what up? Man, I got such on the phone. They trying to do this, that, and other. At that point, Big U job was done because he didn't know. He would never really take the time to understand how to do it. His whole perception is if I got the people around me to know how to do it, and I bring the people that want it, then I'm part of it anyway. You get what I'm saying? And he knew with me, because I was generally trying to help him, I would never request anything from it. I would just get on the phone, what is it? And then whoever it needed, I make the calls and put it together, and then he'll run with it. It's a lot of things he did minus me, like his thing with the ball players. Now that was what he built for self.
What do you just him
Like
coaching
like
football
the
or whatever?
relationships with like Draymond Green, Draymond Green, shit like that. Now Shaq, that was us. That was actually Stutterbox. That was a Stutterbox and the Wack thing, right? I remember one time.
It was not a Stutterbox and a Wack thing. But let's assume that it was, and that you're telling the truth for once in your piece of shit life, right? Then why don't you do an interview with Shaq on the 100 side? Since that was you and Box, I want to see you and Box do an interview with Shaq on the 100 side. Bet you can't do that. We could bet money on that. Let's go.
I believe it was in Houston. He had just come home, and he was standing outside All-Star Weekend or whatever, and nobody would let him in. Nobody knew who the fuck he was.
Right.
But Box at the time was moving real strong with Shaq. Box seen him and pulled him in. That was Shaq's first interaction with him, because Box was Shaq's right-hand man.
Do you think Shaq left LA because of the gang politics, aka Big U fucking with him?
No. Shaq was already gone. Time Big U come on, Shaq was already on fucking Star Island.
Okay.
Yeah, he was already on Star Island. He was already back in Florida. He had the big crib in Orlando, and Shaq ain't never been ran out of nut, man. Like, everybody loves Shaq. Like, Shaq is just, that's family with everybody.
But that part of the indictment where they're basically talking about how a bunch of NBA players got scammed by another player.
Stop.
And then he makes them like hand over $100,000 each to him and shit.
Because I was doing a lot of business with Shaq at the time. He was one of the first people to send over the 40-foot trailer, like with the toys and stuff, to give away for like Christmas.
Okay.
So you got to understand, like, when a guy like Shaq looks up, yo, Shaq brought snow to Watts. You know that?
He had a snow machine or something?
He brought the snow to the projects. He went over there, and they was like, yo, we want to see the snow. So he somehow had them go up there to the mountains, get a bunch of snow, and bring it in and just put snow all through the projects.
You could pay people to just pull up with like a machine that makes snow.
No, he had them go up to like Big Bear or something.
The real snow.
And get the snow. So whenever you come to a lot of these guys and they see like, okay, you're doing something for the kids, and you can visually see he's giving his stuff away to the kids, right? They don't mind being a part of that. The dude that spray ground backpacks, that's my guy. He gave you one, I believe, 5 years ago.
A backpack?
You was hanging with Big U late night somewhere. He gave you a backpack, a white one.
A white backpack.
You had a red hat. He said you're the only white boy.
You saw that?
With a red hat. Right?
That was at the T.I. and Young Thug video shoot, which now, in retrospect, I'm thinking, what kind of arrangement was struck that would allow these guys to shoot this video?
We put him with T.I.
That was in Hollywood, too. So
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, even that's a plug that come through us. He's a Muslim brother. If you go back, I did an exclusive spray ground run with red spray ground back with Game. We did the giveaway at all the shoe palaces.
I'm surprised that Big U didn't make me pay to wear that red hat.
Nah, he was just bullshit. He don't care about no gang banging like
You know where that was, though? That was at that one studio where everybody makes jokes about it because it was used in one of the Batman movies. It's got all like the panels with the lights
That's on the east
ceiling.
side.
Yeah.
On the east side. Yeah, I know exactly. I filmed over there before. So you got to remember, like, I don't read what I'm reading. I've never seen him operate in that capacity.
Okay.
But that just goes back to the stories you hear. But who is he? Oh, he did boom, 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 boom. So it just looked to me like he went into survival mode and start. I know the dude, the dispensary owner.
Oh, okay.
I've done business with him.
Okay.
Like, he would call. I think the last thing I did, I booked Sada Baby for him downtown. But
He booked Sada baby for him downtown. This is the same informant that he puts on the phone with Luce after he told him he was working, and after he told him that he told the feds that Draws was lining him up. So Wack not only brought Luce on, he got Marley Marl into play, and he got this rat, Dale, the long-tail rat, all pushing his agenda that he orchestrated because he moves in phases. His hands is all over this indictment. All you got to do is look at it. Let's go.
He called me about October. He like, bro, you know what? With you, bro, it was always straight business, man. I give you the money, you make sure the people there, and boom, boom, boom. So, you know, when it comes to weed and all that type of stuff, I shy away from it. I really don't like to deal with it because it's not approved on the Fed side. But a lot of stuff I'm reading, and some of it I'm kind of like, it's missing some pieces. I can't see him. I can't see Big U shooting a kid in the face that once lived in his house, right? Over a diss song.
Because there has to have been so many different times over the years, even since he's been free, in which he would have had much better reason to clap somebody than that situation.
What I'm saying
that
is,
just doesn't seem like it would have risen to the level of being.
Let me tell you,
if he killed that kid, he probably should have killed like 20 other people.
No, listen. Let me tell you what he would do.
Okay.
If the kid had did a diss song, right, and he heard it, at his age, he would have brought one of his little homies over there to fade him.
Right.
Okay, how do I know this? Nipsey dissed him.
Right.
What did he do?
The first song?
He brought one of his homies over there to fade him, right? Or he would have did it, right? But if he little dude, he just gonna bring one of his little homies over there. So this is why. And
that guy is not a threat. The kid, rest in peace, Rayshawn, he's not a threat enough to require killing him. Why don't you just beat his ass, punch him in the head a couple times to get the point across?
Because I've already disrespected the family, because I'm going to be real. I don't know if you listened to the call. When I got the call from these people, right, I'm thinking it's some troll motherfuckers. And I'm going to tell you why. First thing, whenever I ask you a question, I already know the answer. I just want to see what you're going to say.
Okay.
So the first thing I say is, yo, when this happened to your brother? She says 2022. I know it was 2021 because I read the shit.
Right.
So right then and there, my mind is like, okay, well, let me see where it goes. So then I'm like, oh, what you mean they had to get blood? Like, you know, they swab us before we get out of prison, right? So then she says, they found it under the nails, right? So I'm thinking to myself, motherfucker, if they found some DNA under some nails and it's this dude, ain't no way they letting him run around for 3-4 years, right?
Robert
So I let her
Jones
keep
got
talking.
his own smut.
So she says,
Wack,
my mom such and such, right? So she puts the mom on the phone. So when the mom comes on the phone, I'm gonna show you this, right? She goes into her thing. The mom immediately says, oh no, it's been 4 years. Okay. This one I thought they was really cap. When she says, between me and you, the cops don't want nobody to know, but this, that, and other, right? So I'm telling myself, the cops don't tell no motherfucking body when they coming to pick somebody up. Right? So then I get this text.
Hey, this is Rayshawn Williams' mom. I didn't want to ask you this because I don't like asking people for anything, but I do need your help. Me and my daughter have been homeless for the past 3 months, sleeping in my car. So if it's possible, could you please help me at least get a hotel room for a couple of days? I really do need the help.
So now you know what I'm thinking.
It's cap. It's a scam.
It's cap. It's a scam, right? So at this point in time, I'm going to be real. I watched Big U on about 3-4 occasions.
That's a fact, Josh Jones.
Go side with some motherfuckers that's running the narrative on me that he knows ain't true. right? And because it's his voice, it makes it seem like it might be some truth. So I tell 600, hey, bro, these motherfuckers is capping. They thought they was gonna run a sob story on me and get some money out of me. The motherfucking sister don't even know what year the boy died, which is odd. Anybody lose somebody that close, you know the time,
listen
date,
to this, y'all.
the year, you know that shit.
Hell yeah.
Right? And I said, as soon as, and the mom is lead me to believe, shh, I'm telling you some exclusive shit. Because the police not gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you why. You may want to do something to this dude. So if the police tell you we coming to get him this month, that gives you your flight time to go kill this dude. It's a million reasons why me dealing with life, I'm like, man, ain't no motherfucking police for the
They gather all this information and they choose to let it out with one massive flood. Obviously, the Fed the indictment in the Rollin 60s. This is all shit that they had ascertained over the course of many, many years. They gather it all up, and then they drop it.
Yeah, but so I got a lady, the daughter or the sister, don't know the year the boy was killed. I got a lady trolling, faking like she's like telling me some exclusive shit. So you know what I did? The same way Big U went over there with these dudes with this CS2 back shit. With me.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, you know, they got CS2 back.
Dude, can you say that one more time, bro?
I'm gonna play it one more time. So he talking about the fake mama and fake sister, or if they was the real ones lying. Talk about Big U, blood DNA was found up under their son and brother's nails. And he said he knew all along that they was lying, but he just ran the fake narrative, right? Mad at Big U because of us. He put the police in this investigation on Big U, implicating him in crimes because we exposed he was CS2 back. Let's play that again so you can catch it, y'all.
Right, which is odd. Anybody lose somebody that close, you know the time, date, the year, you know that shit.
Hell yeah.
Right? And I said, as soon as, and the mom is lead me to believe, shh, I'm telling you some exclusive shit. Because the police not going to tell you, I'm going to tell you why. You may want to do something to this dude. So if the police tell you we coming to get him this month, that gives you your flight time to go kill this dude. It's a million reasons why me dealing with life, I'm like, man, ain't no motherfucking police for the
They gather all this information and they choose to let it out with one massive flood. Obviously, the Fed the indictment in the Rollin 60s. This is all shit that they had ascertained over the course of many, many years. They gather it all up, and then they drop it.
Yeah, but so I got a lady, the daughter or the sister, don't know the year the boy was killed. I got a lady trolling, faking like she's like telling me some exclusive shit. So you know what I did? The same way Big U went over there with these dudes with this CS2 back shit, what made it look real, which in the long run is gonna help me because that's a great lawsuit. Like,
oh, he admitted it looks real,
right?
You're gonna sue Big U?
No, I would never sue Big U. I sue LA Media World Star because Big U. You notice as of about 18 months ago when I said I'm suing them behind them putting that up. You don't see Big U talking to World Star shit because when World Star doubled back and said, hey, where's the paperwork to support this? He like, I don't got none. We was just, he like, well, dude got a big ass law firm. They coming at us. They not playing. They demanding some serious money. This dude's a public figure.
So this.
Why would World Star go ask Big U about my documentary? Why? When I sent a $5 million demand to World Star Hip Hop for not paying me my money and for taking down the World Star Hip Hop video exposing Wack100 and CS2 back. He just up here capping, bro. Let's go.
So this lawsuit is still in the works?
What?
What?
This gonna be great.
Oh, shit.
This gonna pay off like 2 of my cribs.
We got a harmonious man on our hands
right
here.
So the same reason why Big U went over there with some shit that he knows a lie and ran the narrative, I thought about it. I said, fucking 600. They lying talking about this a football kid that used to play for his organization. That ought to strike a nerve with some of them parents over there, right? It ought to piss him off, right? Let's run it up, right? Because at the time, I'm thinking that's cap.
Okay.
I'm thinking, come on, man, you don't know what year the boy was killed. It's your brother. You talking about the police and told you some shit that I know police not gonna tell you. They not gonna tell you for this reason right here. So in my head, there's no way this shit is. And then you hit me up for the money right afterwards, right? So in my mind, it's cap. So we run murder. I'm like, how could I like turn it into content? Because as far as I'm concerned, it's content, right? I get 100 calls a day, motherfuckers telling me shit. You heard me listening to some of them in your office. That's just shit coming through random, right? About that. I don't know if it's real or not. So at this point in time, I'm like, all right, Tink runs murder mystery. I'm gonna let her run the murder mystery, read the news shit, and then we're just gonna plug this into it. So here it comes. 600 starts to panic. He says, bro, they like think I got it from the police.
600.
I'm like, well, just run the narrative, man. Tell him, motherfucker.
Why, if he know he didn't get it from the police, why would he start to panic when the pressure come on about where did he get this information? He know he got it from the police, and they got the panicking, thinking that these niggas' cover is blown, and that's why they hurried up and locked up loose cannon and swooped these niggas up off the street. That's why Wack on here being all nice. Let's get back to the content, man.
Shit, don't look at it like that. Look at it like, shit. Why are you looking at it like I'm running a narrative for the police? It could be looked like that I'm looking out for the streets. It could be looked at all kind of ways, right? So now 600, I ain't gonna lie, he got a little nervous because they start coming at him with the, why you running this shit? You get what I'm saying? This is why I don't know if you noticed, I kind of been going overboard with trying to like take some of the heat off of him.
Oh, 600.
Yeah.
Well, he seems like he's leaning into it. He's riding around with a badge on.
No, but that's what I told him. I said, at this point, bro, the other shit ain't working. So fuck it. You know, that call with the police saying come down to the station, that's not real.
Oh.
That's his homeboy that recorded something.
Okay.
And he's just playing it. Right? But to the world, it's real. Right? So, you know, at the end of the night, it shocked me when they called me that morning, talking about the feds and all this shit. I was like, and then when I read what I read, that shit, I don't know that Big U. I can honestly say on some real shit, and I'm treading lightly because now that I know, and the reason why I know the lady's real now, because somebody called me a day ago and said she did a TMZ interview. So I know if Harvey's interviewing somebody, he done did his due diligence on who people are. So I don't know what the lady looks like, but whenever it comes out, we'll be able to see.
Listen, there's a good chance somebody's trying to hack your website right now.
This Big U that I'm reading about on the indictment, I don't know him.
You haven't seen him strong arming random people and whatnot.
I actually seen him break himself.
What's that mean?
He would spend his last on the kids.
Okay.
You know how much that dude used to charge the kids?
What?
$100
For what?
to play football.
That
cheap? Don't even cover 20% of what that costs.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
So what he would do is he would call everybody he knew. Hey, bro, boom, boom. Like I wrote checks for like, he'd be like, yo, 9U short, 18 shoulder pads and 6 helmets. How much that costs? $2,500. I write the check to Crenshaw Coats, 9U, whatever, right? So the Big U, I know when it comes to kids, has always been like, he was on a mission to get a count to how many kids like he could get going to college and shit like that, right?
So if I had asked you a month ago or a couple months ago, what percentage of money that is being donated to Big U and his charity is actually being spent on charitable stuff?
I would have thought 100%.
You would have thought 100%. Wow. Okay.
Because not outside of the football shit, right? Let me tell you what else he does. The kids, you got a kid. I seen this because it's like a continuation school down there or something. I think it's a place where they got the Nipsey basketball court.
Okay.
I went down there before with him to talk to the kids. There's one kid, he like, yo, man, why you keep fighting? We got you in the continue. Why you keep fighting? He like, man, they be talking about my clothes and talking about my shoes. Right? And when we left, he said, man, I feel him because, you know, I always had big feet, so I couldn't really get all the different shoes everybody had. So I would see him go in his pocket. Because I remember one day we went to like Men's Land in the Slauson, in the Fox Hills Mall. And we went in there and the shoes, he said, what kind of shoes you want? And the shoes he wanted, they was like $600 shoes. So when we went in there, he told him like, hey, bro, these ain't for me. Can you work with me on the price? Because they for a kid a distressed kid. So I would see him go in his pocket and do that. I would also see him like go buy people's family groceries and shit. Like if you would have asked me, like just one-on-one, like Wack, when I'd have been like, nah, that type of shit he does.
So you're saying
this shit right here, I'd have brought a bet everything I'm worth that none of that's going.
So you're saying you considered him a philanthropist and overall like a guy who was giving, but also not a great businessman and definitely not a master criminal. Because when you look at so much of this stuff, it's like if you want to embezzle funds from the government under the guise of COVID relief or whatever, I assume there's a way to do it that would not put such heat on you.
This is the thing. I met Big U in 2004. So this is the Big U that went to prison, really embraced Islam, and he had already, from my understanding, created developing options from prison.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? His son that played for the Chargers, he was made in prison on a family visit. You get what I'm saying? So the Big U we met, he came trying to understand and figure out some business.
Right.
We didn't meet a Big U gang banging. You know, and that was one of the first riffs at the table. He went on somebody's platform. Breakfast Club, he went to somebody's platform and said, if he would have been out, Death Row couldn't operate.
He said that on Vlad. I was just about to ask you about that.
That was my phone lit up. Wack, what's up with this?
He said if he was free, there wouldn't have been no death row, which is kind of a wild statement because how would he, no matter how powerful he was, how would he have been able to stop Suge Knight, who operates on completely different politics, from signing artists? Now, he did sign a bunch of Crips and whatnot.
You're not hearing me. Listen to me. I told you earlier, I got blowback from how close I was getting to him. First, it was even letting him come to the table of business, because our whole movement was, can't nobody make no money with war going on. So if I got these artists and I'm beefing with you, and every time we do a concert or a club or a video shoot, y'all showing up, shooting it up. And then when we hear you doing something with yours, we doing the same. Ain't nobody benefiting from that. So it's like, okay, you got what artist? Cool. You got so if it came, let's say Big U had T.I., right? But we put him with T.I. If a problem came up with somebody was like, hey, we want to book T.I., or hey, we got an issue with T.I., instead of that individual approaching T.I., they'll just talk to him, and then we'll let Big U go talk to T.I., and they find resolution. So this is why from like 2008 to about 2018, 19, you wasn't hearing video shoots getting shot up, niggas getting robbed at the studio. You saw an increase of Crip and Blood concerts through Kading. That's where SKG come from. You know, my man AD. To where now we got Crips and Bloods on the roster. Backstage, we got 100 gang members, niggas beefing, but it's all love because everybody there is tied to somebody at the table. Let everybody get their money, everybody stay safe. And so now...
Hey, hold on. Somebody brought it to my attention. The Wack 100 show say P-O-P-O, Popo. Nasty work. He's letting you know right now. It was subconsciously playing off his mind. Hit that like button if you ain't already hit that like button. And we finna get into this last content.
How people was running into people, and it was all love. So that's what we was doing. I tried to, every meeting I had, but my Korean, back then I was doing business with a dude named Johnny Yee out of South Korea. I took Big U to the meet, not because he was part of it, because I wanted him to hear it. So now you know if something pops up, we have a resource over there. He might be in New York and they're like, yeah, Big, we trying to do this in South Korea. Know what he gonna say? I can get it done. He'll just call me on the phone with this dude and we work it out. But this what I'm reading, what I just heard last night, I don't know that guy.
Based on what I'm hearing from a lot of people, I haven't personally read through the indictment, but everybody I know who has spent some time reading the indictment has basically texted me and said, Big U is fucked.
They had like bugs in places, I guess, where they thought it was safe to talk at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
People worry about their phone. They don't worry about there being a bug in the room. Like, this is fucking
it's a lot
Goodfellas.
on there. It's a lot on there, and it's a lot of people that gave statements or whatever, right? But I've never, me and Big U never sat out and said we're gonna go extort this dude or rob this dude. It was always a conversation on how can we fix a problem? This is going on. Hey, bro, don't you know such and such? Yeah, can you give him a call because such and such called, said this is going on. Let's see if we can work it out. That's what we was doing. It was called, the movement was called Bridging the Gap. And you know, and I would give my plugs. We all shared our plugs. Like I met Marley Marl through Big U, right? Because it was no different than, yo, Marley, this is my brother Wack, this Marley. Y'all.
In this indictment, he's talking about Marley Marl and long tail rat Dale, long tail Dale the rat. Both of witnesses and informants on Big U. And y'all believe his relationship with Loose Cannon and these two informants who are all implicating Big U in crime is just a mere coincidence, right? Yeah, good luck with that one.
Exchange numbers in case y'all need each other. This what Wack does, this what Marley do. I got a platinum record out of Marley, right? K Slay. And a few other my people, Big U met directly with me to where they didn't have to call me to talk to each other. Because if we all moving as one, you know we moving as one, right? So, but I'm not saying it didn't happen because that'd be a disrespect to the family. I already did that because I thought they was trolling me with the initial call.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way if I knew they was real, I would have did that. I just thought they was bull. I got a sister that don't know the year her brother was killed. I got a lady claiming to be the mama telling me the police told me they gonna do this. And I'm like, lady, ain't no police telling you when they gonna go, because I know it's putting dude in jeopardy. It's putting him in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying?
But a sympathetic officer, detective, or whatever could mention casually.
It's not practical though.
It's not something I would consider normal, but you know, if he felt for the parents, he maybe wanted to kind of tip them off on what was going on.
Yeah, but see, this is the reason why they don't do that.
Yeah.
Because the parent could go tell somebody, and then it comes out. Or they may have the mindset, we want to kill this dude ourselves.
But the feds were probably at least a little bit annoyed because the RICO seemed like it was maybe a little bit rushed. Like they probably would have appreciated a little bit more time to get this together. But instead, it's all being talked about on podcasts and shit so much that they probably felt like they had to kind of rush in.
Hey, that's a key point.
We didn't believe what they was talking about.
I don't even support them. They was talking about us. They was talking about CS2 back. He talking about he's going to be suing World Star. World Star already put in a motion to dismiss his lawsuit under the anti-SLAPP laws. I'll be giving y'all an update on that sooner rather than later. But since y'all act like we had a couple people here act like they didn't know what was going on with the paperwork and the RICO I showed. Oh, before I show y'all this, let me show y'all something else. While we're talking about RICOs, you know what I'm saying? So let me see if I can share this, and then we're going to show this, what you call it, and then we'll be out of here. Probably 20 minutes total. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into this real quick. So let's see if y'all can see this. Oh, yeah, y'all can see it. Okay, good. So I'm going to blow it up. This is Wack100 talking. This is the transcripts in a civil RICO against Wack100, Ray J, Raytronics, and Sonia Norwood, Ray J mom. That we all blank. What? Listen, dog, listen. Old police we with is a crooked police's power. Crips gangbangers that blank don't know their gang members. We blank with telephone, some noise. Yeah, they do everything we need. We're doing this Salado. I'm out here, you know, they're pulling it over and taking what we need to take now in the police. We were, so we with the police, but we with the police that's us, right, Marty? They don't work in the hood and they work over there. But I got a license plate number, you know. I'm Sandy, and no, I go, you know, they're just keep the rivers following us down and having lunch in our name. What's happening, you know, and just a line. He said he's working with crooked police. This is in a RICO indictment of CS2 back. So when people talk about we capping, we don't have to cap about nothing. He says he has police on payroll. And you ain't even got to believe that he actually got them on payroll, but this is what's alleged in the case. But I can show you one of the police that he has on payroll. She's a smart officer. She's out of the valley. Sherry Mays. Sharita Mays. She's also in the RICO, and she a licensed mental health professional. There goes her IG. There goes her, what you call it? They had pictures of her throwing up Pacoima Paru, the same affiliation of Wack100 claims. And she allegedly was sicked on with another LAPD officer. The smart officers are the ones that ride along with the LAPD for people with mental health, right? For when they run into people who got mental health. So they run specifically target Mildred Ingram, or however you pronounce his name, who is the guy who filed the civil RICO against Wack100, Raytronics, Wack Mama, this lady, Sharita Mays also. And she was on Clubhouse, and she was a part of Sleepless in LA, which was Wack100's first home on the Clubhouse app. He ended up taking over that room or whatever. But when you talk about RICOs, you know what I'm saying? Don't never tell me we cap. I just read one indictment from Texas on Wack100, and then I just showed you evidence of another one. Y'all want to see some more evidence? Since y'all think that it ain't real and it's just civil, let me show y'all some more shit real quick. Real quick, man. Because I don't like when people don't respect that we come with receipts up in here. This is the Damu Kiwe conversation. Receipts is mandatory, right? Let me get to this real quick. Let me see if y'all can see this. Oh, yeah, y'all can't see it. Here we go now. Y'all see this? Let me blow it up so y'all can see his injuries. Because this is what the police did to him. Look at his nose. Look at his neck. And mind you, this is a mountaineer. Look at his eye. They had appear to have broken his nose, messed up his neck. Let's see if y'all can see these pictures. Oh yeah, y'all can see them. Okay. Let me show y'all. Y'all think this Rico and the way that he was doing it to bogart the 1% of the company. Look how crooked his nose is. The 1% of the company that was promised to him when they started Raytronics, and Wack100 said he ain't giving a cracker shit. We're going to be getting more into this, but this is the white guy that was beat up by the police, who was accompanied by Sharita Mays, who forced him on the drugs, saying he was 5150. Never had been diagnosed prior to this as being 5150. Never had been arrested before. Now he's been arrested 3 times. They work with dirty police. That's a fact. We got the evidence. There's someone else on the 100 side that is another law enforcement with Homeland Security, right? We already know about Reggie Wright Jr. It's infested with pigs and rats on the 100 side. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into this last video, man. After this video, I'm going to let Yael take us out. Let me show y'all what this is so y'all can appreciate it. My guy, Scandalous, Los Angeles TV. Let's get into it, man.
What's up? We live for all the out there. What's up? Y'all want to be famous? Here you go.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. We got the content again, y'all. CS2 back, aka Porky, the pit poodle Pyru, has stepped in a pile of his own shit again. He's got some real explaining to do this time. Somebody call Big Chuck from Death of the Clout Chasers and let him know that the guy who trademarked his company has been rainbow ratting since 2005. You guys are about to hear a recorded phone call with Deuce M's and a courthouse clerk from the same Texas courthouse that he was in, after he was caught crossing state lines with a trunk full of guns. Listen to what she has to say about this case. After this, I want to hear the excuses that all the rainbow rats come up with.
First, this is Debbie.
Greetings. I'm doing research for a documentary. I'm with Val TV Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I was looking for public records on the case, and I'm having a hard time getting the records on this case. Is there any way you could assist me?
Well, what kind of case is it? And I'll tell you.
It was a gun case, 2005, for Cash McElroy Jones.
Hospital markups help hospitals, not patients. Hold 340B hospitals accountable.
Don't let an appliance breakdown break you down. Shop Brothers Main's super in-stock selection from brand.
Okay, do you have a cost number or anything?
A cost number. Hold on. I do have some kind of case number, and it was so weird it just disappeared. Number 427. Is that an 8 or 3? 3. 4273.
Nope, that's not it. Okay, let me try again. 42. Oh wait.
No, 78. 73. I'm sorry.
4. Tell me it all again.
4273.
Okay.
Oh no, it comes
up to a dickie.
Okay, no, I'm looking at another document. It says number 4278.
Okay, let's try that.
Sherry Jones was the district clerk.
Yes, she still is.
Oh wow, she's still around.
Yeah, she's been here a long time. Okay, now what are you needing?
I'm trying to find out. The case said it was a motion to dismiss, and then for illegal search and seizure. I can't find the results from that, but I know it got denied because the case continued, right? And then it was dismissed in the interest of justice. I don't know what the heck that meant. But yeah. I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay. Yes, that's what it says. Now this is just on the indictment. It's just the indictment. This is not on the seizure case. Was there a seizure case?
No. It was an indictment for guns. Can I get that? Exactly what was found in that?
Yeah, let's see here. Unlawful possession of a firearm by a felony is the charge, but it was dismissed.
Okay, and when it was dismissed, does it say how many firearms it was?
Let me just see. Let's look at the.
Because the documentary I'm doing is about gun traffickers that seem to not be held accountable by the court of law. So
let's see here. The indictment says Cash McElroy Jones did then and there, having been convicted of a felony of assault with a firearm on the 12th of May, 1994, in the cause number of the Supreme Court of Los Angeles County. In the case in the docket, it said California versus Cash. So, but this one is unlawful possession of a firearm. I guess he was convicted out of the state of California.
Yes, I found that one. I think he was a juvenile for that one. Then he gets caught in Wheeler, Texas, with guns. I don't know how many. I'm trying to see how many were charged in the indictment. And was this indictment a federal indictment or just a Texas state?
The state of Texas.
Okay.
And it doesn't say how many. It just says that unlawful possession of a firearm. So it doesn't tell me how many. Let me see. And I don't know if they did. That's back in 2006. I was trying to see if there was.
Why would I use kayak to compare hundreds of travel sites at once? I like to do things.
Nope, there's nothing in here to tell me. Like the PCI, the whatever you call it, the pre-sentencing investigation. Sometimes they're filed. And right. I thought there might be one in here, but there's not, and it would tell me everything. But let's see. There's really nothing else in here that's of any.
Even in 2005, 2006, that was standard procedure for them to file a pre-sentence investigator report?
They had them, but sometimes they didn't give them to us.
Right.
But there's nothing really. All it is a bunch of just your documents that filed and some subpoenas, and then they got the motion in order to dismiss,
which was denied.
No, he was dismissed.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about in 2011 or 2010, right?
Yes, 2011. Yes.
All right. And is there any way that I could get emailed those documents?
Oh, yeah. What's your email?
Active Chucks. That's ACTIVE CHUCKSS. And then at gmail.com.
Okay.
All right. What was your name again?
Debbie.
Debbie, thank you for your professionalism. I really appreciate it.
You're sure welcome. I'll get this to you.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense now when we get to the interest of justice. Because I'm like, how did this just end? Right? But,
well, like I said, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
I'm just though. Hey, I'm quite sure he didn't. So I'm gonna take your advice. Thank you.
Oh, well, do you need the indictment or just the motion?
The indictment, the motion to dismiss, and if you have the motion to dismiss for illegal search and seizure, because I think that one was denied and it was later dismissed in the interest of justice.
Okay, let me look through here. Hang on. All I'm seeing, but let me save this right quick. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, let me go back through here. Okay, I'm gonna send you that indictment, and then both of the motion and order. But other than that, it's pretty much just basic paperwork. There's
Did they have the original investigative report, like from the police officers that detained them?
We don't ever get that. No.
Okay.
No, we don't. Now, I mean, the sheriff's office might have some of that.
I'm gonna have to contact them. Maybe that'll help fill in a little more holes, so I'm not swinging in the blind before my audience with this documentary here.
Oh, so what channel is that? Oh, wait, let me see here. Brief in support of motion to suppress.
Okay.
Let me see. He did file a motion to suppress, gathered by, the defendant, Jones, previously filed a motion to suppress evidence gathered by the Texas Highway Patrol, the Wheeler County Sheriff's Office, and DPS for their actions prohibited by 4th, 5th, 6th, 14th Amendments. Let's see. He wanted any and all tangible evidence seized by the enforcement officers or others in connection with the detention and arrest of Mr. Jones in this case, or in connection with the investigation. This really does. Okay, let's see. I'll just send this to you.
Okay.
And you can decide if that's something you need or not. How about that?
All right. And you said the local police that initially arrested him were sheriffs?
Well, it said DPS. It says Texas DPS, Wheeler County, and DPS Special Crimes.
DPS,
so I don't know if they
Wheeler County.
Uh-huh.
And what was the other one?
The DPS Special Crimes.
DPS Special Crimes. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but.
Right. From a state which allows and permits us to bear arms under the Constitution, as long as it's out in the open and not concealed. For a gun case to be special crimes, this got to be bigger than I thought.
This says here that the vehicle he rented it. A vehicle from California. He returned it to the same location. It says Mr. Jones stated he and the passenger were traveling from California to Tulsa to bring back his mother in California for his brother's funeral. His brother had been murdered the morning of April 15, 2005 in Tulsa, and his body was going to be sent to California.
Oh, wow. So
I'm sending you that.
Yeah, so he did. Okay, yeah, please send that. And thank you for your professionalism again. If I'm ever in good old Texas, I might have to, after this documentary come out, I might have to buy you around at the bar.
Well, there is no bar here, but you can still stop in and see us.
It's that small of a city?
Oh my, we don't even have. We got a 4-way stop, and that's about it.
Oh, wow.
We're little.
Well, that's good for privacy. That's good for people who have old-fashioned values, want to raise their children. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you again.
Well, you're sure welcome, and I hope this helps you. And if you need anything else, holler back, okay?
I will do.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yael, you want to react to anything you heard?
Well, I reckon that good old with Roy Jones did in the state justice. boy, that boy right there, boy, he's a special victim, a special crimes unit type of guy. Yes, Roy Jones, guess what? This salute especially for you, man. Guess what? Good old state of Texas, Wheeler County, and Debbie, we salute you for getting your case dismissed in the interest of justice. Boy, you done did a good old job for the state, and you did a good old job for those flapjackets. Those alphabets and them letters, F, B, and I. Salute you, Cash McCarraway Jones, and your good interest of justice case dismissal, because you a working agent. Salute, brother.
Let them know where they was at. We gonna get up out of here till tomorrow.
Man, listen, y'all done sat through 3 hours and a half of dope, edifying content. I hope this was very informative because every time it's edified, nothing to me is new under the sun that hasn't been done, especially with individuals like CS2 Back. Don't let nothing go. Don't let no wool be pulled over your eyes. These dudes are agents in disguise. Salute to everybody on Clubhouse, man. Everybody that's on the stage, salute to you. If you was in the goose, salute. And the mods that's always on their job, salute to Clubhouse, man. Make sure you share that content on there. And salute to everybody on the YouTube live right now, man. In the chat, y'all know that's where it's at. The Blue Wrench Mob, always on their job. And if you was a friend that tapped in, that told a friend, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this content. Very edifying, very informative. You always want to know who you're around. If not, you're bound to drown, man. Salute to Deuce M's. Deuce M's the Don. And Yael, the Kiwe pop star. The voices of the culture and the West Coast with the most authentic characters. Damu Kiwe Conversations.
All right. Well, we out of here. You heard.